The phone lines are open now, guys. Phone lines are open now. Go ahead and call in. Get in line. Get in line. Phone lines are open, guys. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you guys can, let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this special edition of TSR Live. Very special edition of TSR Live. The hits just keep on coming with our boy Will Smith. The hits just keep on coming. I was actually, as you guys know, I wasn't going to do a live stream for a good long while, at least another week and a half, because I'm in the final preparation stages of the CME. But every once in a while, the world will give us something to talk about. And, of course, we all know by now, we all know about the Will Smith, Chris Rock incident. I'm not gonna, for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna play it. I don't know what kind of copyright or whatever. But you guys can all Google it. You'll be able to see it. Quickly, shout out to my snipers on the Sharpe stream side, Dre, Raven, and Blazanity. Good to see you guys in here. I'm going to read these super chats here very quickly, and then we're going to go right to the phone lines, because I want to know what you guys think of the situation. Oh my goodness, this is something. Yersin Hanma, welcome to chat privileges. At Yersin Hanma, to welcome him to the TSR family. I think Yersin, this might be his second go around as a member. So I appreciate the support. Yersin, thank you guys very much. Already got 500 people in here, guys. Just make sure you hit the like button. We're going to get to it very shortly. Roberto Moreno with the $10 super chat. Haven't seen you in here in a while. Says Red Pill YouTube Manosphere is going to break records and super chats today. I don't know about that. Wait a minute. Sith Lord Entertainment with the $200 super chat. Holy God. Jesus Christ. Roberto, you might actually be right. Sith Lord Entertainment with a $200 super chat says, what this situation proves, pardon me, is how much control and power Jada has over Will. She has his heart, from what I gathered, Will Smith makes his decisions through his heart. Jada has effectively broken him, and that is what we saw on stage when he was driven to tears. Will Smith is stuck. I actually agree with you. And I think we're definitely going to have discussions and conversations about it. Let me give you another Don DeMarco, man. Holy moly. Sith Lord Entertainment with the big time $200 super chat. Before we get to the phone lines, guys, and be patient. You guys have to be patient, because a lot of the lines are going to fill up. But my quick little 30-second, and I'll probably have another take, other takes as more information comes in. I actually just found out about this morning, so I don't really have too many thoughts on it. But I will tell you this. Jada Pinkett does not deserve for a man like Will Smith to come to her defense in that moment. She does not deserve this. She has done nothing but crap on Will Smith. She's drug his name through the mud. She's out of pocket. She had the entanglement with the 27-year-old rapper August whatever. She has completely made she has made Will Smith look stupid at every turn, either directly, indirectly, the red table talks, all of this stuff. And Will Smith still came to the defense in the worst and most public way. This woman came to the defense. This man came to the defense. Pardon me. This man came to the defense of a woman who is not only unfaithful to him, but disrespects him in public on purpose. That's the takeaway that I have thus far. So we're gonna go right. So listen, man. We're gonna go right to the phone lines. Let us go. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Okay, let us go to Thanos in Detroit. Thanos in Detroit. You're on live with Donovan. I mean, what are your thoughts on the Will Smith, Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett situation?
Central USA, man. This guy is broken.
Okay.
And he let this woman break him all the way through. For him to do stuff like that, I mean, first of all, Chris Rock is a comedian.
Right.
I mean, he's cooked her before like 5 or 6 years ago. He didn't do anything then. So why all of a sudden you want to do something now?
Right.
I looked at Jada's face and I kind of just paused it, and it was almost like she had a mind control, like she was using telepathy.
Right.
She just walked up there and just slapped that. I mean, come on, man.
It's almost
enough, dude.
It's almost as though the weird thing is, Thanos, is that it did appear that he was under some sort of mind control, because it was almost, he didn't have an expression on his face when he walked up there. It's almost as though Jada said, all right, go up there and smack this nigga for me. I'd never really thought about that. Do you think Will Smith was right in his response?
No, man, not at all. Not at all, dude. Not at all. I mean, the guy is just, he's a broken spirit, man. His heart's broken, everything's off. He's screwed up upstairs, man. He needs a few copies of That Woman Needs, man. You might want to send him some.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Well, Thanos, look, you made a very good point. I had not thought about the autopilot thing. I'll give you the last word on this, man. Thanos.
All right, bro. I enjoy your show, man. I'm a long-time listener, and it's time for me to go ahead and join this club, man.
Good stuff, man. Thanos in Detroit, I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you.
Be good.
Excellent. Thanos in Detroit. Thanos made a very good point. He talked about the fact that hey, it almost seemed as though he was under some sort of mind control. Because at first he laughed at it. You saw Jada's facial expression. Then Will Smith got up and went and smacked him. That was crazy. Augustus Balmustus with the $5 super chat says, this was a blow to black masculinity and image, straight BS. I totally agree. The optics on this were absolutely insane. You can have a wife who is out of pocket, who has embarrassed Will Smith to the extent that she's embarrassed him and disrespected him, and she still has her husband physically coming to her defense. A black man committed a crime against another black man because he said something about a black woman. Now, on his face, that doesn't really seem like that big a deal, except for the fact that when we talk about and a lot of this is not even about race. He is defending a woman who is not worth defending. This is why I tell guys all the time, and Jay Blaze in Maine, I'm going to come to you next, followed by Ahmad in Mississippi. This is the man who came to her defense. She does not deserve this defense. If you want to be treated like a lady, you have to act like one. This is why I tell guys all the time. You absolutely, positively do not angle for a relationship first. I'm going to have a couple of guests on here, guys. I'm going to have, it looks like I've got Tallulah Johnson in the stream, as well as John of Modern Life Dating. How you guys doing?
We're in bad shape out here, Don. These guys.
Man, I am trying to tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and full screen this so that everybody can see. So, John, let me quickly get your thoughts on this Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. Because you said we're in bad shape. I agree with you totally. Then we'll get to Lula's take on it. Then we'll go to the phone lines. But MLD, dude, what the hell is going on around here, man? What are we doing?
First and foremost, I gotta say I wholeheartedly feel bad for Will Smith because this is what I talked about earlier in my show. I covered this earlier today. This is what happens when you stay in a relationship with a woman who is toxic and you don't enforce your boundaries
That's
as
all
a
right.
man.
That's all right.
You will suffer incrementally. I mean, assuming that this wasn't staged, right? Because
Of
it is
course.
Hollywood,
Of
right?
course. Right.
Just
Right.
gonna
Right.
put a caveat out there for both of us. I think we're both smart enough to cover our asses on that.
Of course.
But
Of course.
I think that this is a guy who's just been pushed to the brink and literally been humiliated on a public stage for the entire world to be like, oh yeah,
Yes.
this is my wife and she's out there getting pumped and dumped by a series of my fucking son's friends. She's humiliating the entire
Unbelievable.
family, and it just got to the point where he's just like, I think he's kind of in the blue pill alpha mindset, like I've got to
Yep.
protect my family,
Yep.
I've got to do the right thing.
Yep.
And like, you know, she's a woman and she's impervious to accountability, and everything is, she's an angel, I got to just support her no matter what. And you're seeing a guy being dragged through the mud. And you know, this is what happens when you are a guy and you don't enforce your boundaries on a woman who needs boundaries to be enforced upon.
That's all right.
In addition to that, I don't think that because clout absolutely ruins a woman, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And so she's super ruined as it is. The only way to do this is for him to leave her.
Yep.
Now, we did a dive earlier on my channel on his net worth. Will Smith is currently worth $350 million.
Okay.
So he would have to lose half of that theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
However, at his point, he literally could make that money back.
Of course.
Because he's Will Smith.
Of course.
B, maybe me and you are just plebs and I don't get it, but is there really a big difference between 350 million and 175 million?
Yeah, dude, John, I am 100% in agreement with you. What can you do with $350 million that you can't do with $175 million, right? And Will Smith is still, and he's had a few bombs, but he is still a bankable A-list celebrity. So if it's about the money, then, dude, cut your losses and get the fuck out of there. Dude, they say it's cheaper to keep her. I don't care about that. Take your 175 and get the hell out of my life and quit making me look dumb.
Yeah, and then that's the only thing, because you got to think of like the gigantic demon he has on his back, like having to deal with this, the resentment he has inside of him waking up. And listen, let's just be honest. That I played the video earlier today. That whole family is fucked up. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the videos of like Will grabbing his son and kissing him on the mouth forcibly, like
dude,
over and over and over again.
Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
So I just think, you know, this is America. This is why the country's circling the drain. Really, these are the people at the top, and like we're supposed to look at these people as, you know, admirable and stuff like this. Like, you know, being extreme here, but you don't see like Jackie Chan and Jet Li doing this shit over there in China.
Of course
and
not.
Like
no.
they have dignity, they have self-respect, they understand this. We've gotten to the point that we're just so decadent, and we're just like, you know, you go girl, and
yes,
men are shit, and like, you know, just basically but the problem with Jada Smith is like, is a problem with all American women right now.
Yep. 100%.
Is they want to be able to do anything, and they literally want a man that is basically their slave.
Yes.
He does everything for them, finances, needs to give them orgasms all the time, needs to be perfectly good looking, needs to make her happy all the time. And if he slips up 1 second, he's toxic, he's abuser, he's a piece of shit, he's a narcissist, you know, he's controlling. You could do better, girl. Just go out there, get pumped and dumped, and lower your value. Then you're going to find the perfect guy. It's insane. It's insane.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, John, they represent this to me represents the best. This is the best relationship that modern women could hope for. This is the best relationship they can hope for. He's Will Smith. Okay, he's an A-list celebrity on the sexual marketplace. He is an apex alpha male. There are so many more Jada Pinkett's than there are Will Smith, but Will Smith is not treating her as such. Now, she is the father of his children, and that does count for something. I mean, I'm not just gonna say, oh, no. She's the mother of his children. That being said, you still have to operate with an abundance mindset. And when you don't operate in an abundance mindset, this is what happens. You just
Right.
humiliated yourself and another man on international TV over a woman who has done nothing but make you look bad your entire career. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's just it's it's disheartening to watch because
It is.
when we talk about Will Smith and we're talking about Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
Yep.
Independence Day,
Yes.
Bad
Bad
Boys,
boys. Yes.
Hitch,
Yeah.
Hancock, Men in Black, right? Um, uh, the End of the World movie. Sorry, it's slipping my mind right now. I Am Legend, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know, we're just seeing all these things. What is Jada Pinkett Smith known for? The Matrix. That's pretty much it.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Or she was in a different world a long time ago. But yeah, obviously they're celebrity. The only reason why Jada Pinkett is a celebrity is because she's married to Will Smith, and of course all of these red table talks. Let me get Tallulah Johnson in here real quickly. I'd love to give. And we're also going to go to the phone lines if you guys want to stick around for a little while on those. Tallulah, welcome from across the pond. What are your thoughts on this whole Will Smith smacking Chris Rock because of Jada Pinkett thing? Where do you stand on this?
So, can you hear me first?
Absolutely, 100%.
Great. Thanks for having me on to
Of course,
talk
of
about
course.
this. So, you're going to get the Tallulah side of things, and you're going to get the therapist counselor side of me as well with
Okay.
this. Really interesting what John has just said about this relation of the family dynamics with Will and his son. I didn't know any of that, but this really makes sense. So I would definitely say, I mean, obviously Jada has zero respect for Will Smith. That's clear as day. That's why
Yes.
this is actually a bigger hit. It's not him punching him. It's the fact that everyone knows she has disrespected him.
Yes.
And at the beginning, you'll see that, if you've probably all seen it, right? When he actually says it, when he says what he says, which I quite honestly, for someone who has Donovan, I have a lot going on with my health at the moment.
Of course.
Breaks my heart. It does. It's nothing to be made fun of, especially the emotional side that she will be dealing with.
Right.
However, this is Chris Rock. This is what he does. This is,
there you go.
He would do this to anyone, absolutely anyone. He hasn't just solely picked on her. Anyway, so when he said this, the camera goes straight to Will and it goes to Jada. Will is laughing.
Yes.
Will is not sitting there getting angry or anything. And then I wish we could actually see the footage when they come back to Chris, because we obviously missed something. We see her face, she's not happy, but what happens in that moment before?
Right.
And then obviously, Will behaving in the way that he did. Now, I personally don't think that was consciously a punch at Chris. I think those guys will be okay. Give it 6 months, those guys will
they'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. That was resentment.
Yes.
That was fear. That was anger. That was quite honestly complete emotional upset.
Yes.
That Will cannot any longer take what's going on here with her. That's what it is. That's where his anger is coming out. It wasn't even at what Chris said. We all know this.
Of course.
Simply because he just can't deal with this drama anymore.
Right.
However, at the same time, there is the things of, the boundaries there. Obviously, this guy is walking around unleashed, no boundaries, clearly hasn't learned any from what John was saying. But you could see the pain, the deep pain when he the speech, when he punched Chris. It is pain from what kind of relationship he is in.
That's right.
And I think he's angry at himself.
Yeah.
That's the way it's kind of, he's angry at himself, he's upset, he's resentful to himself. Why am I doing this when I'm getting nothing back?
Oh my God.
He's getting nothing but disrespect, and he is in that bad cycle. And this is massive. Like you said, this guy is technically the top 1% of guy. This is not the top 20%. This is
Absolutely.
Will Smith. Net worth, height. A lot of women find this man attractive. You know, he is in there. But that pain, the pain of this relationship, you could see in the in that speech
Yeah.
and in the punch. It was nothing to do with actually what was said.
I agree. Listen, Tallulah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think that Will Smith's anger is probably, and I'm going to come back to MLD for an opinion, but I've got to do some housekeeping here with super chats, and we've got people waiting on the phone lines. But I think Will's anger, to what Tallulah just talked about, I think Will's anger was really at Jada. He's thinking to himself, dude, like, this woman has disrespected me to the point where everybody knows what it is, and now we even have comedians picking fun at us. And I think it all happened so quickly and on a subconscious level. I honestly, just like the first caller said, I think he was on autopilot, but I think that in the moment he was thinking about how angry he was. Let's quickly go to the phone lines. Let's get some of these callers in here. Jay Blaze in Maine, you are on live with Donovan, Tallulah, and MLD. What are your thoughts on did Will Smith handle this correctly, in your opinion, yes or no?
No, he did not handle it correctly. And
okay.
To get on Tallulah's part, this is every cheater. The guy who gets cheated on by the girl, who always goes after the cheater, or the guy who was cheating with the girl instead of the actual girl.
Wow.
He's too afraid of Jada.
There you go. That's right. That's a very that MLD. What are your thoughts on that? I agree with Jay Blaze. I think that Will Smith he's less afraid of Chris Rock than he is afraid of Jada Pinkett. What do you think?
I just want to double down what Tallulah said, because I said it earlier in my channel. I think that this was not real. I think this was anger coming from another place about just the situation, and you could see it. Like, we zoomed in on his mouth when he was doing his acceptance speech, and his lip was quivering. And even as an actor, you can't fake a lip quiver.
No, you
like
can't. You cannot do that.
You know, you're either coked out of your mind or you're fucking upset, and he's fucking was upset clearly. And he was not faking his emotional sadness that he was exhibiting up there. And my heart goes out to him, because, like, this is what happens when you don't hold frame in a relationship. That's why I used to say, you know, make money, make muscles, learn game. But I added the fourth piece, which is hold frame, because the backbone of every relationship being a success is a woman submitting to the frame of the man.
That's right.
And when you're submitting to a woman's frame, you're just going to suffer, because these girls don't know if they're coming or going. And she is a Hollywood hag.
Yep.
She's 50 years old. She's still delusional. Both her kids are super fucked up. I mean, the kids are fucked up because the parents are fucked up. And to be very, very critical, this is all Will's fault, because he's staying there and endorsing it with his power and stardom. You know, he's condoning it by his presence. So I just, I don't necessarily think he's afraid of Jada.
Okay.
But I think he's afraid of what she can do to him in the legal system.
Okay. Which begs the question that you and I asked: what can't you do with 175 million that you can do with 350? Maybe the answer is in there somewhere. I don't know.
I'm really trying to rack my brains on it, and this basically makes me go back to, it has to be some deep blue pilled conditioning, because he's been deep in the Hollywood machine since a young age. How old is he on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Dude,
you know,
I don't know, 19, maybe 20 years old at the very most.
And being put at the forefront of America. And honestly, dude, it was a great show. Mike, that was a great show.
Absolutely.
It was wholesome. And he was a good role model for a lot of black people out there. And fuck, I'm not even black, and I loved watching him. I thought he was hilarious. I was like, this guy is like a degenerate, kind of like black sheep of the family, but so am I, and I could relate to him so much. And he really, like, him and Uncle Phil were, you know, Aunt Vivian, Carlton, Hillary, you know, they were all a part of my life growing up. And just to see him be kind of so brainwashed and
It's incredible,
meshed
man.
in that Hollywood chaotic lifestyle, and it's just sad to watch. And I just, you know, that's the thing. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And we're seeing it right now. A 53-year-old grown ass,
Jesus Christ.
multi-$100 million
Yes.
guy who could literally replace Jada Pinkett Smith in the snap of a finger.
Just like that, man.
He could literally get on Instagram and say, "I demand a new woman," and snap his finger and be like, "I'm here at this place."
There you go.
And there would be like armies of women. There would be women flying from all around the world
Of
to meet
course.
him.
Absolutely.
And it's just it's sad. It's sad to see that, because the bottom line is, if this can happen to a global superstar celebrity,
it can happen to anybody.
it can happen to the guy who works at Starbucks. You know, it can happen to the account manager at you know, JP Morgan or whatever. So yeah, just it's a uncomfortable a wake up call for a lot of men out there. And the reality is, it's going to sound very cold and critical coming out of my mouth, but just bear with me. But for the audience members, you know, it's better him than me, and it's better him than you.
That's right. That's right.
Because no amount of money is worth your peace of mind, and that man doesn't have no peace of mind.
Not only that, your dignity. Tallulah, what do you have on this?
Yeah, I've just got to agree. Like, it's better on him than anyone else, I guess. And you know, this can happen to anyone, and it is a really good example of that. That there are people out there, that there are men out there that are of high status. And there's actually people that, and you guys probably know who I'm talking about, but there are people that were kind of in this space before, and it's happened to them. And they have now, you know, completely changed their narrative as such, as going on with, you know, not understanding the red pill, but then the second they're in a relationship, they kind of put that aside. So they pick it up when they want to pick it up as a tool, but then they place it aside. And once that placed aside, I don't know how you can do that. Like, once you have an understanding, how you can just put that to the side. But I suppose it's easier. It's easier in a world where most of it is blue pill conditioning.
Yep, that's right.
There are very few people that understand the dynamics of this stuff and how it should be going on. And echoing what John said, you know, it is so much more comfortable from a woman's point of view of submitting into a man's world, how much more exciting that is for us than a man coming into our world and wanting to just integrate into my life. I want to integrate into his.
Right.
And it's really rare here in England. It's super rare. Like, that just doesn't. It just probably worse than over in the US.
The West is listen. I said this on my show earlier today, and I'm just gonna say it again. We figured it out. Feminism doesn't work. Everybody's fucking miserable.
That's right.
Men are like me and Donovan, happy in relationships. We are literally 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, dude.
Not in a relationship, happy.
Right.
In a relationship.
Happy in a relationship. That almost never happens these days. Okay, let me quickly get to the phone lines. The phone lines are jammed. Ahmad in Mississippi. Did Will Smith handle this situation correctly or incorrectly?
Well, number one, I want to apologize to you, Donovan, because I want to apologize to you because I think I owe you some merch. Because if you don't know, because I'm good with the Fresh and Fit podcast myself. I'm good friends with Walter.
Yeah.
If you look on, you know, the little caps that they have, the actually say cap that you've been in there plenty of times. That was actually my creation. You can ask Walter yourself.
Okay.
That's
all right.
mine. That's me. And I owe you an apology. I should be sending you some merch myself.
It's all
That's
good,
all
man.
me. That's my fault. You were the guy that actually got me out of a hole 2 years ago. You, not Kevin, not anybody else. It was you. And I owe you an apology, and I should be sending you some merch.
All right, I appreciate it.
I apologize for that.
No problem at all.
But as far as this whole Will and Jada situation,
yeah,
I feel as though because he's been married so far, from a married standpoint, first of all, he broke the cardinal rules of rich nigga status.
Yep.
What's the cardinal rule? You don't do that shit in front of white people.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, but he's right. He's 100% right. You don't do that shit in front of white people, man.
Do that shit. It's just like even if you kind of agree. Let's say if I was talking shit about your woman,
right?
Even if you kind of didn't care. If I imagine if I would have said some shit to Devin in front of you, and they went in a big giant crowd, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna hit me in front of a lot of people.
No,
you're gonna guess
definitely
you're
not.
You're gonna wait till I get to that bathroom and probably just give me a either stern talking to, or probably punch me in the gut.
Yeah, No, well, I agree, and thanks for the call, Ahmad. Listen, man, it doesn't take any balls to confront a man in front of people. It takes balls to confront a man by yourself. We're gonna go to Clark. In Nashville here very, very quickly. Let me get through these super chats. Desmond Clark, $10 super chat, says, "Will is a sucker. Where was that energy for August? She put a battery in his back. You think Will would have pulled that stunt with DL Hughley? No, he probably would not have." Travis Rivera, $10, says, "Donovan, first live podcast for me. Between you, Fresh and Fit, you guys saved me. How do I join the membership?" Dev, if you're in the chat, Dev, somebody put the membership link in there. Sub-Zero, welcome to chat privileges. Appreciate that very much. At Sub-Zero to welcome him to chat privileges. Sub-Zero, put your age and location in the chat so that people know where they can find you. King Louie, $5, says, Jada took advantage of August when he was having a mental crisis, and she was never canceled. Of course not. Jared Atkinson, welcome to chat privileges. At Jared Atkinson to welcome him to chat privileges. Also, Jared, be sure to put your age and location in the chat. DJ70, $10, says, "Will laughed till Jada whispered Tupac wouldn't have stood for that." Yeah, exactly. She's been alpha widowed by Tupac. Chris M, $10, says, "How much you want to bet Jada will divorce Will within a year?" I would bet an amount of money that matters to me. Homie Kicks, $10, says, "Bruh, this proves why men in the USA marriage is pointless. If this is what we will face, she is not a lady until proven otherwise. The 49 laws of Sharpe." Totally agree. Mr. J with the $5 super chat says, "Less than 1% actually. Like you said, Don, take that money and get the fuck out. Every man has to take a stand if you have the money and income to get the fuck out." Holy moly. Okay. I'm gonna go through a couple. I'm gonna get to a couple of quick phone calls. Then I'm gonna go back to my panel here. Let's go to Clark in Nashville. Clark in Nashville, you're on live with Donovan, MLD, and Tallulah. What you got?
Joe, hello. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hello.
Yes.
All right. Here's the deal. If Will and maybe Chris were not contriving this whole thing, making this whole thing up, and it was staged. Get it? Staged.
Got it.
On stage.
Got
anyway,
it.
If this was not made up, then he did the wrong thing because, like you said, a black man, you don't do this stuff in public.
No.
He might have taken Chris Rock aside and said, "Hey, man, what's the deal?" But here is an optimistic and, as James said to Ulrich, a diabolical scenario. Chris Rock and/or Will Smith get together ahead of time and they say, "Look, man, I don't know if I'm going to win this Oscar or not, but I got to get my street cred back."
Yep.
Okay. Number two, then you slow-mo the walk where Will is walking up to the stage. If you slow-mo that, you can interpret Chris Rock to be sticking his chin out, all right? Sticking his face out there as if he
expected it.
He was going to get pimp slapped.
Yeah. Yep.
All right? So a diabolical and an optimistic interpretation of this, optimistic in terms of Will Smith's and maybe Chris Rock's planning and execution of a really big show is, and then what does Chris Rock say in response? Wow, what did he say? Oscars 2022 most interesting, or
yeah, most interesting. Yeah, I get it.
Greatest
Clark,
night in show
Clark,
television.
yeah, I had to cut Clark off because he was going a little bit long. I think let's just go ahead and get this out of the way now. And I appreciate the call, Clark. Like MLD said, we're assuming that this wasn't staged. We are going to talk about this from the standpoint that this was not staged. So if you think it was staged, please keep your thoughts to yourself. There are plenty of people. That's the interesting thing. And I'll go to Tallulah, then I'll go to MLD, then Tallulah with this, and then we'll go to Javier in Charlotte, and then Cordell from Minnesota. What are your thoughts on this possibly being staged, and to what end? Because you said you can't fake that lip quiver. I would agree, but let's just go ahead and get this it was staged thing out of the way now. What do you think, MLD, in your opinion?
I wouldn't put it past these Hollywood dirtbags.
Okay.
But I don't think him crying on stage and being upset during his speech, because everybody seems to be glossing over the speech.
Yeah,
because he won the Academy Award for Best Actor in King Richard, and the pain and the emotions coming out from him during that was definitely real and organic. That wasn't. I mean, yeah, he's an actor, whatever, but that's definitely real, and it's because it's humiliating, bro. It's humiliating, you know.
Yes.
Do you understand? I'm not even like near the fame that Will Smith is at,
Oh
and
my God.
I never want to be. But can you imagine if like people were humiliating us on a global level about our woman fucking someone else?
Dude,
like that would be humiliating. That is the only. It is humiliating. And your dignity and pride as a man is being destroyed by your own standards as a man. It's not things are not tearing him up from the outside. This is tearing him up from the inside.
I agree,
because I think he has enough dignity as a man to be like, you know what, I got to get the fuck out of here. But he's just thinking like, I got to be the better beta. You know, I gotta do my part. I gotta man up. You know.
Yeah. Right. It's ridiculous.
And just seeing a grown man being broken down to tears and stuff over this is just like, I don't know. It's
so you think that this is probably not staged? You wouldn't put it past him, but it's not something that you would consider.
I think maybe the slap could be staged, but I don't think his emotions conveyed during his speech were definitely not staged at all.
Okay. Tallulah, do you think it was staged or no?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Not only from his speech, which John's mentioned, that definitely just came from deep within. But again, coming from my therapist side, that just the punch alone.
Right.
I think that when the camera, when you saw him laughing, okay, and you could see the body language there already. He's already turned away from her.
Right.
She's he's already just kind of, I'm just going to sit here and, enjoy my evening and just whatever it is. And he was laughing, and he wasn't laughing at her. He was just laughing because this is Chris Rock.
Right.
This is what he does about anyone.
Right.
Yes, I do not agree with the reference because personal reasons it relates to health problems. But when that camera went off and she probably just gave him one look, you could see the look already. She gave him one look, and when you give a guy a look like whatever she did, I can definitely, I'm a woman, right? So I know you can just give a look as, when we get home and because you have laughed in that moment, I am going to make your life a living.
That's all right.
misery.
That's all right.
Your life will officially be hell now that you've done that. It is almost like he has not done that to save himself. I'm not saying he's scared of her, that he got up, but he probably just thought, you know what? I can't deal with you anymore. And the only way he could just let rip, right? And let out that pain and that suffering and that blue pill conditioning, and probably that way that he can't even understand himself. That's what I think it is. He can't understand why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? Why can't I get out of this relationship?
Right.
He just thought, again, masculine, forward moving energy. That's a natural response.
There you go.
I need to get up. I need to shake this off. I'm just going to go up there. It wasn't about what this guy said. I think that we need to make this clear. This is nothing to do.
Yeah, because he just called her G.I. Jane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, that was not a big deal.
Yeah, but it's the pressure. It's the pressure of all eyes on him of what happened last time. And she has given him the look of doom when we get home. And for the rest of the week and for the rest of your life, you are never going to forget this. And I'm going to make your life hell. And he has gone, I can't take this anymore. He's jumped, he's leapt out his chair. No boundaries, as we've already established. The guy has no boundaries. He has no self-control either, by the sound of things. He's just leapt over there and thought, I can't do this in front of all these people and everyone. This is too much. And he's punched the guy. And then later on, obviously, and then even the shouting did it all.
Yeah.
You can hear it in the voice. You have to, it's not about what he's saying.
Nope.
It's about the actions, the voice, what he is, the tone of his voice is pain.
No, I agree.
Freaking put this on me anymore. How can I get out of this relationship? I can't do this anymore. That's what he was saying. And the only way he could do it was, unfortunately, this way. It's just such a natural human response that this man has had. And I quite honestly think that after this, there's going to be loads of press around it.
Oh, of course.
Then it will be wrapped in chips. That's our saying in the UK, wrapped in chips newspapers in 2 weeks' time. But I think this could be a good thing for him. I think that, I don't think for his reputation, don't get me wrong, this is not good for his reputation, but I think that it has got to boiling point for this man.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
The speech, the Oscars, someone that he probably was, maybe not friends with, but a close business associate, people in there that respect him. It's gone too far now. Something will give. In 6 months to a year, I think this relationship will be over. I
agree. I totally agree. Let's go to Javier in Charlotte. Javier in Charlotte. Was Will Smith right or wrong for the way he handled this? Yes or no?
Yeah, Donovan, he screwed up big time.
Okay.
I gotta agree with Tallulah on this. Like, I think it was not about what he said, because these Hollywood types, they've been in roasts and stuff like that before.
Yeah, of course.
More serious.
Of course.
That wasn't even a big deal like that. So you could tell. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Falling Down in the 90s.
Oh, yes.
Right,
oh,
Michael
yes.
Douglas.
Yes.
That's
Michael
what
Douglas.
happened, bro. And the whole year, this dude's been getting trashed all freaking year, and that's it. He freaking just lost it. He just lost it.
Falling Down. Javier in Charlotte, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you.
You guys take care.
Absolutely. Let's go to Cordell in Minnesota. What are your thoughts on the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing? Was he right or wrong?
Good afternoon, Donovan. I believe that Will Smith was wrong.
Okay.
Well, a few of my things that I thought he was wrong for is because, Chris Rock is a comedian. You can't. I mean, how could you get mad at a person who's a comedian whose job it is to do jokes, and especially the Oscars having him on the panel to, present the award?
Of course.
He's a comedian. You shouldn't expect less of him to go on there but to make jokes. Also, he did make a joke about Will before he did make the joke at Jada, and he did come at it with respect. He said, Jada, I love you, and then he made his joke. And at least he was respectful about it, It's not like he just came out and bashed or whatever Will thought.
Are you there?
Yep,
I think Will's echoing.
Yo, am I echoing? I'm not echoing, am I?
Nope, not anymore.
No,
Nope.
I'm good. Okay. Sorry, go.
Go ahead. Good.
All right, but I just think that I just think that he wasn't right for it. And then, by listening to your show as well as Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, if the roles were reversed and it was a joke on Will, I think Jada would have been laughing just like everybody is saying online,
people are saying like, oh, it was, you know, the big thing about her alopecia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like you get people online and women online making fun of like Myron for going bald and stuff like that.
Of course.
But,
of course.
I mean, I don't think Chris Rock was taking that approach when he was making the joke about Jada, you know?
No, of course not. But again, Chris Rock is coming, and thanks for the call, Cordell. When Chris Rock made the joke, he came from it. I think it was a joke in good faith. I don't think there's any question about the fact that the joke was made in bad faith. And I think Will was responding
They
to
wrote
something.
the jokes for him.
Yes, right, exactly. And so if Will Smith is going to get upset with anybody, he needs to get upset with he needs to get upset with the writers. Let's bring Rollo in.
Yo.
Oh, I think Rollo is.
Oh, am I muted? Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good, but I can still hear myself.
Oh, I can hear you.
Hang on a second. There
Is
we
it
go.
me or is it you?
Can you hear me?
When you came on, there was an echo.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have. How about now? Is that better?
That's much better. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I had echo cancellation.
It's all good. It's all good. So, Rollo. So, Rollo, give me your initial thoughts on this whole. Will
I'm
Smith
gonna
thing.
give you my initial thoughts here because I'm about to go do this. We have to all do this now, right?
Yes.
I did a 4-hour and 20-minute podcast yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I can relax. And like literally,
not
like
anymore.
10 minutes later. So here's my take on this, and if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll understand what I'm about to say here.
Okay.
This is staged. This whole thing is staged.
So you think it's staged? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's staged. I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Actually,
Okay.
I'll give it to you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give this to you in our chat.
Okay.
So that you can put this up on the screen because I know you're using
StreamYard. Yeah.
instead. So I'm going to give you the stats here. This is Statista stats. I just put it in our texting here. So you can put that up on the screen if you want. This is the number of television viewers of the Academy Awards ceremony from 2000 to 2021.
Oh, boy.
Look at that drop right there.
Wow.
At 2021.
Wow.
Do you honestly believe now that this was not a setup? Do you honestly think that Ricky Gervais going off on the quote unquote pedos of Hollywood wasn't intended to get those numbers, jack those numbers back up?
Yeah.
It has been consistently dropping off. And this is exactly what I would expect from these guys to do something like this. Furthermore, I think the last caller, or maybe it was John, just said they write the jokes for him.
Right.
G.I. Jane, do you know when that movie came out?
That was back in the 90s, homie. Demi Moore.
1997. I
Yeah.
looked it up. Nobody's going to get that joke. And you know who didn't write it? Chris Rock would never write a joke like that. He's reading it from script, teleprompter, or he's got it memorized to some effect, and it was meant to provoke. And then I was talking to John Fitch this morning, John, and we were kind of doing a little bit of analysis of his of the actual event here. First of all, it's an open hand slap. He's not even like throwing his shoulder into it.
Yeah,
You'll also notice that Chris Rock has his hands behind his back the entire time. He's not like, he's not like trying to, somebody comes posting up on you.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your best friend. If that guy has that intent.
Yeah, yes. You defend yourself.
That's instinctual. I love you guys. I would never do this, but if I threw something at your face, you would do something. You would flinch out of the way in some way or try to defend yourself. That is an instinctual response. He knew it was coming. That's why he went with it and he came back. Also, final thought here.
Okay.
Notice what Chris Rock said right after that. This is the greatest night in television history.
That's exactly right. That's what he said.
Let's cut the shit, please. Can we please cut the shit? This is a complete staged setup. And everybody wants to say, oh, he's finally manning up. Yeah, that's what it was intended to tell you. That's the message that you're supposed to take away from all of this.
Here's the problem, Rollo. He manned up in the wrong situation for the wrong woman. Because a lot of people are probably asking me, well, what if Chris Rock had said something like that about Devin? Number one, if Devin had acted anything like Jada Pinkett Smith had, Devin and I wouldn't be together, right? Okay. Listen, go ahead.
That's I'm first of all, that's my take.
Right.
It looks staged, it sounds staged, it fits in perfectly with what's going on with the
Right.
Academy Awards. No one cares about this show. It's
No.
NASCAR now. You don't go to a NASCAR race to see who wins the race. You watch it to see who's going to crash, and is there going to be a 12-car pileup on the track. That's why you watch the Academy Awards. That's why anybody watches anything right now. It is red meat city right now. So that's number one. Number two is this. So let's just say, for sake of argument, because we want to keep the show going, let's just say for sake of argument it wasn't staged.
Okay.
And Will went up there and he finally found his nuts. His testicles finally dropped. And now he's going to go up there and he's going to slap who? Chris Rock?
Yeah, right.
Chris Rock.
Right. Right.
That's
of all
who you're gonna
people.
go and slap.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It could have been anybody. It could have been anyone who was giving him grief about the Red Table Talks. And before anybody gives me grief about this, and I'm going to discuss this here at about 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Before anybody gives me any grief, I have been talking about this since August of 2020.
Yes, you have.
July. So my most watched show is my Will Smith show. So before anybody says, "Oh, this old white guy doesn't know anything about this," no, dude, I've been following this for a very long time. I just did a show, I think it was back in October of this year, that I think John covered recently when she was going on with Gwyneth Paltrow and talking about how they were having like,
oh yeah,
and he couldn't get it up or what. That's what the takeaway message was from TMZ, right? And he wasn't a good lover or whatever else. And I will agree with everyone else here is like, yeah, it gets to a point where it's more than a man can take, right?
Yep.
But his response is exactly what I would expect from a beta cuckolded guy who finally reached his wit's end, and he can't take it out on Jada, so he has to take it out on somebody else. Chris Rock does not have well, I shouldn't say that. Chris Rock does not have some history with Will Smith in the sense that he's been like coming at Jada in the past.
Right.
They do have a history, by the way, in 2016 where he was like, they were kind of like clashing with one another. I do know about.
Oh,
that,
okay. Okay.
So there's a prior here between the two.
Okay.
Of them.
So a little bit of something.
It was in 2016 and it was at the Oscars actually.
Okay.
So look that up before like after this show. Because people are going to hit on that as well.
Okay.
But I made this point on my show, and I'll be done after this. Okay. I made this point on my show yesterday when I was talking about Bad Vegan and Tinder Swindler and all this other shit. Right? This is if this is legit, this is the downstream effect of him not taking authority over Jada in the first place.
Bingo.
This is exactly what happens. You know what happens when men don't take responsibility and don't step in and take authority over women? You get Tinder Swindler.
Yep, that's right.
You get those three chicks, and you know who pays the price for it? Any guy that comes into their lives afterwards, and every person that goes and signs on to their Kickstarter or their GoFundMe to help them, pay back the loans that they took out. So everyone else who put, here's $5, here's $10.
Yeah.
You're paying the price for their bad decisions that no one could be judgmental about. No one could say, stop judging me. I'm going to go get on this plane and fly off to Bulgaria with this guy I just met a half an hour ago on Tinder. Oh, follow your heart.
Yes.
Where have we heard that before? From Jada Pinkett Smith. That's where we've heard this before.
That's right. That's right.
It's all about love. It's all about healing. All that shit. All that leads up to smack. That's where that leads up to. We're paying the price for Will Smith not saying, getting this bitch back in pocket. That's what we're doing. And we're all, let's give me some more. Let me see what else happens. Let me see the off-camera footage of all this. What's happening? You know who's paying the price for this? Denzel Washington,
yes,
and like Bradley Cooper, and all those guys are like, "Oh, come here, let's have a big
let's have a bro hug." Yeah, right.
Get the fuck out of here,
Rollo Tomasi.
Insanity.
This is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna read a couple super chats, and we'll go back to the phone lines here. And any of you, if any three of you, if you guys want to drop off, jump back in.
I got a bail.
Okay, all right, Rollo. Thanks for stopping in, man. All right, MLD. See you later. Are you sticking around, MLD?
No, it's 2:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get the hell out of here, man.
See you, buddy.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Okay, so it looks like it's just myself and the lovely and talented Tallulah. And listen, Tallulah, you don't have to stick around all day if you don't want to. Just let me know. Just let me know when you have to drop off, and I will bid you farewell.
I have about 10 minutes left.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so we have 10 minutes left with the lovely and talented Tallulah Johnson. So I'm going to read these super chats quickly, and then we'll go back to the phone lines. Desh 2012, $5 says, I just seen that Chris Rock didn't even write that sorry-ass joke. That was written by the Oscar staff. I believe it was a calculated slap as a message. I'm starting to come around, too. But again, we're going to discuss this. We're going to assume that what we saw on the screen was genuine. Listen, Rollo made some good points, but I think Rollo made good points, but that doesn't mean that this could not have happened for real. D Fry, $5 says LeBron wife not stepping like that about his hairline. Oh my God. I appreciate the super chat, D Fry. I have no idea what you just said. I know that was a hairline joke about LeBron, but come on, guys. Got to start speaking English, guys. Alphaville, $5 says, will he just set us back 1,000 years? Maybe. Land of Lincoln, $5 says, bald men get made fun of daily. Is it justified for them to assault someone? This is big simpin'. I agree. Daddy Dame, $20 says, this wasn't staged. Check their track record. Neither of these multimillionaires have ever done such a thing, even at their lowest. And why would they pull such a stunt, quote, if staged on the most prestigious award show? Okay, that's a good take there. Greatness 81, $10 says, will let the devil win. The devil works against a man when that man is about to receive a great blessing. This wasn't a staged event. He really slapped Jada when he slapped Chris Rock. Now, that I agree with, and that's along with the lines of what you said, Tallulah. That was not a slap to Chris Rock. He really wants to slap Jada. That's what I think. Alphaville, another $5, says, Willie Style should have given that damn Oscar to Chris. Absolutely. Javier Colon, welcome to chat privileges. Add Javier Colon to welcome him to the TSR family. Javier, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. Andrew JMP 34 with the 5 British pounds says, society doesn't bat an eye when men are violent to each other. Imagine if Amy Schumer was at the end of that slap, he would be under the jail, of course. Bill Cosby. Hang on a second. Bill Cosby. $2 says, yes, will protect and provide for our wife, right? DJ Beefit, $2 says, Will Smith wouldn't slap 50 Cent if he was hosting. Absolutely not. Tallulah, I'm gonna go ahead and mow through these phone calls. If you would, go ahead and give me your final thoughts on this entire situation before you drop off.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I kind of it's interesting what Rollo said about, the views and everything like that. And it does make a lot of sense,
right?
With the show, if it was staged.
Right.
But I kind of I've brought into it completely.
Okay.
And I don't know. I've just kind of got that other side now thinking about that. But no, if it has not been staged, I stick to what I said. This was not about what Chris actually said. This is coming from a place of pain, blue pill conditioning, that this guy cannot take any more.
Yeah.
But I have to remember, what really stood out wasn't the punch. It was the bit when he sat down and he was, swearing and sort of crying and getting upset.
Right.
But that looked like the moment where he just broke and was like, I can't take any more.
Yeah, man. Enough's enough.
I cannot take the disrespect. Absolutely. But he's an actor.
Yes.
So, I don't know. And he won the award, but the bit I don't know. I've got 2 different things there now. But if this was not staged, yeah, this is it. The guy can't take it anymore. And you know what? Actually, it's a bit of a reflection of how men behave around their friends.
Yes.
When friends pull them up and say, why are you allowing this? Why are you
There you go.
Speak to you like this, do this to you, do that to you. It's like they just cut all their friends off, right? It's almost another way of representing that. I know it's different in punching.
Sure.
And guys go out having punching matches with each other, but they'll cut that guy off, and then before they know it, they're isolated, and it's just them and that woman, and all hell breaks loose, and that man is chipped away more and more and more. The same can happen to women. I'm not saying that this is just men. The same can happen to women, but this is just a prime example of it. And I think it's a good thing that it happened. I do.
Okay.
For everyone's sake, and it's been really, really good to talk about this, and that's why I just thought, you know, when you said anyone wants to jump on,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much for
Absolutely. She is Tallulah Johnson. Yeah, she is Tallulah Johnson. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to her YouTube channel, The Feminine Truth, and also follow her on Instagram. Tallulah, thank you very, very much for making time for us today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Donovan. Take care. Bye.
All right. She is Tallulah Johnson of The Feminine Truths. And so very, very glad that she was able to to stop in. Okay. So listen, we are going to mow through these calls. Guys, try to be, you know, let's try to keep it brief. I would love to be able to give you guys a lot of time, but we got a lot of callers in the queue. Let us go to Yerson in Miami. Yerson in Miami, you're on Live with Donovan. What are your thoughts on this? Yerson in Miami, are you there? Okay. Let's go to Mo in East Lansing. Mo in East Lansing, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead. Mo, are you there? Okay, Mo is not ready. Noel in Philly. Noel in Philly, you're on Live with Donovan. What are your thoughts on the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation? Maybe I'm not. Maybe he can't. Can he hear me? Noel in Philly. Noel in Philly. Okay. Guys, got to be ready. Got to be ready. Let us go to my guy, Ty. Ty, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, Ty, can you hear me? Something is wrong.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Donovan, I'm here.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you for a second.
Okay,
but,
no problem.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, my man. I have to disagree with Rollo. This is Let's You and Him Fight Achievement Unlocked. That's one of Rollo's old sayings.
Okay.
But here's a couple of things, if you allow me. First of all, a little house cleaning. Will Smith started on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was 22.
Okay.
That's when it started. But because remember, he was a rap superstar, the
Yes.
first solo rap superstar crossover before he was on the Fresh Prince. He parlayed that into the Fresh Prince.
Right.
He just looked young. But a couple of things here, a couple of paradoxes, a couple of ironies here, Jonathan, if you will. This moment here was, if you remember when King Richard came out, this was an iconic, if not, this was a watershed moment for Black fathers and their image.
Right.
And, you know, those of us who are still on Twitter, I mean, I know you're not on Twitter much, I still am, those who represent men strongly on Twitter, we were drinking in the feminist tears.
Of course.
It was energizing us.
Yes.
It was energizing us like Emperor Palpatine. And the irony is for him to go out like that and to tarnish what is essentially the moment for all black fatherhood. To cuck himself publicly in that way, that's what's most disheartening. Another irony is we all remember G.I. Jane, obviously, in the 90s, and in this era of fempowerment, female strength, boss bitches, all this era, right? That character should be somewhat of an icon. That is a strong female lead.
Right.
So how is that an insult to call Jada Pinkett and say, look, this is an illness perceived as a weakness. This is a strength. I think that's where Chris Rock was coming from. He was coming from a place of love. That's why he said, I love you.
Yeah, right.
So, but, and the last thing I would kind of leave you with is, do you remember that commercial from a few years ago, Hanging with Sasquatch?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Where it was where there was like 4 or 5 commercials where the guy who taunted Sasquatch the worst, you always get it. But there was one commercial where a woman taunted Sasquatch, and Sasquatch kicked the ass of the guy right next to her.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I remember that.
And so I noticed that, you know, when you have the red pill sensibility, which I've had for about 30 years now, you pick up on those things that other people don't, and I'm sure you picked up on it as well. And so this was misdirected. But I think, you know, to piggyback on what MLD was saying, this is misdirected violence, and also Will was laughing at it first, and
that's right.
But once he saw, go ahead.
No, I said that's right. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, and once you saw that his master, it was like your dog looking for your approval before he can be pet by somebody. Right. That's what Will saw. He laughed at it, and you know he wanted to go grab the food, but once he saw that
he said, "Uh-oh,"
that his master, he said, "Uh-oh, I gotta growl now."
Yes.
And,
yep.
But yeah.
Ty, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it.
Take it easy, brother.
All right. Yeah, that is Ty. I actually used to do a sports podcast with Ty many moons ago. So I knew that he was going to have a take in on this. Let us go to Jonathan in Georgia. Jonathan in Georgia, I think you want to give a different perspective on this. What you got on this?
Well, I after listening to you guys' conversation, I'm 50-50 on whether or not it was staged or not.
Okay.
But
all right. Well, let's assume that it was. Let's assume that it wasn't staged.
Okay, it's staged. But I'm thinking that whole relationship is based on Jada keeping Will Smith's self-esteem or self-worth below hers.
Okay.
So she can maintain the relationship.
Oh yeah.
I think once Will Smith recognizes his value, he'll realize that she isn't worth his time. But the whole relationship is based on him not knowing his value. So that was my take on it. It's like that's why the relationship won't even last now that I think about it.
So it's
that's my only take, man.
Okay, all right. I appreciate the call, Jonathan. That makes sense. I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious that this particular relationship is clearly not. This is not a good relationship, and we're just going. And again, guys, we're going to assume that it was not staged. So that's how we're going to respond to this. We're going to assume that it was not. Pardon me. We're going to assume that it was not staged, because whether it was staged or not, this is something that could possibly have happened. Let's go to Dolph in Texas. Dolph in Texas, you're on live with Donovan. Was Will Smith right or wrong for the way he handled the Chris Rock situation?
Hey, Donovan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, he was not much, man. He was absolutely out of line, man.
Okay.
From all standpoints, and This reminds me of the scene in The November Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the movie. When Hanley was talking to Pierce Brosnan, and he was like, "Hey, I got my finger so far up the ass of the Russian president," or I think, yeah. So this just shows us like how much influence that Jada has on Will Smith.
Yes.
You know, she has her finger so far up his ass that, you know, whether she's saying it verbally or non-verbally,
directly or indirectly,
or subconsciously, he's gonna get the message, you know, and he's just gonna act upon that, you know. And also, I mean, like, if this was staged, they wouldn't use just about anybody. Like someone like you mentioned. You know, 50 Cent wouldn't sign up for this if it was staged. You know, he wouldn't sign up to be slaps or decks on the face.
Right.
You know, because he's probably going to lose this shit and, you know, hit Will Smith back. But, yeah, man, he was just out of line, man, you know.
Okay. All right. Dolphin, Texas thinks that he was out of line. That's a good observation. That's a very, very good observation. Before we go to Brandon in D.C., followed by Touch in California, you guys might have to start spelling your names. I don't know if my screener's really doing a good job. Let me hit these super chats here. Yes, Savins with the $5 super chat say Chris. Oh, no, wait a minute. Never mind. Ness B with the $10 super chat says, I thought this was a work at first. Then I saw his speech. That was rough to watch because you could see the raw emotion of a man who was broken and hit the wall. Yeah, he probably hit the wall in terms of his of tolerating all of this nonsense. Thank you for the super chat, Nesby. Wayne, $10 says, if this was staged, what was the payoff for Chris Rock to allow another man to take an unblocked punch at his head? I don't know. Man. Listen. You could make the argument that this was or was not staged, but that's not what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on we're going to come at this as though this was not staged. Julian H, $10 says, it's not cool to mock anyone for a medical problem, but Will was out of order too. If that was staged, I've lost respect for Chris for allowing a man to slap him, much less on TV. I don't know that Chris Rock mocked her medical condition. To me, it was a lighthearted joke. But I agree. Like, you can't let another man smack you and then get away with it. Sub-Zero says, that shit that Will Smith did to Chris Rock was the last straw. This was huge for the RP movement on how we need to move in our relationships. Will Smith is, quote, emotionally triggered, pun intended. That I agree with. South Park says, Will has been chasing Tupac's ghost for 20 plus years. No amount of awards can get him out of Tupac's shadow in Jada's eyes. Yes, Jada Pinkett was clearly alpha widowed by Tupac. I think we all knew that. Technomage B5 says, why is Will Smith trapped? California lifetime alimony laws. This is why men like Donovan are smart and don't get married. Real talk. Xander Mathis, $5 says, celebrity boxing match? Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd sign up for it, but I've got Will Smith. He's much larger than Rock. Eric Counts, $5 says, you smack another brother for telling a joke about your wife, but not the guy that smashed your wife. Pull a Dr. Dre, cut your losses, and move on. That's the comment so far. That is the comment so far. I think this is what we're all thinking about here, guys. So, you're cool with August fucking your wife, but you're not cool with Chris Rock telling a joke about your out-of-pocket wife. So you're cool with somebody fucking your wife, but you're not cool about them telling a joke about your wife. Jay Sean Harris, $5 super chat says, get the likes up. And remember, change your smoke detector battery, fellas. Yeah, I heard that as well. BK Trucker, welcome to Chat Privileges. At BJ Trucker 5 to welcome him to the TSR community. The Thinker, welcome to Chat Privileges. At The Thinker to welcome him to the TSR family. J Blaze 11, $2 says, did they give Will the Oscar to stage this? I don't know. Again, guys, I'm going to talk about this from a standpoint that this was not staged, because I don't want to do I'm not going to be another. I don't want to do, hey, was this staged? Was it not staged? Listen, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. We're gonna talk about it from the standpoint that it absolutely was not staged, and we'll see from there. Okay, very good. Let us go to. All right, let's go to Brandon. Let's go to Brandon in D.C. Brandon in D.C., you're on live with Donovan.
How's it going, sir?
Doing good. How about yourself, my man?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hey, first off, like, Will should have left Jada a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
But since he's not, and he's recognized that he's going to stick with this woman, he's going to have to ride for his. I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have got on that stage and cried about it after. You got to handle yours. You got to ride for yours. You got to stand on what you did. This should have been nipped in the bud a long time ago. But it's like, if you're going to ride for yours and have your wife, then that's your wife. You got to do it, bro. That's how I feel.
Okay, well, let me push back a little bit. I think the reason why I have a problem with him doing it is because, now listen, if let's just say that I were a celebrity and Devin were with me and somebody made fun of Devin or whatever, just whatever the case may be, I can't sit here and say that I would not have done what Will Smith did because I've never been in that situation. But no one would blame.
Like, I come through and I come around and I disrespect you in front of your wife just on some normal, just showing you no respect at all as a man. What you gonna do? That's an open invitation, bro.
You're right. You're absolutely right. The only thing I would push back on is you cannot treat a woman like a wife if she's not acting like one. At every turn.
Yeah, I know you're right. But
yeah. Well, hold on. And I gave her credit for being the mother of Will's kids. That's perfectly fine. That's not nothing. But if you want, and we talk about this all the time, women want men to be traditional but not be traditional themselves. So what Will Smith did was traditional. A man disrespected my wife, I had to check the man. Here's the problem. Jada Pinkett is not traditional. She's not traditional at all.
Yeah, you're right. Like,
right. Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish. Right. And I don't know if her alopecia has anything to do with her current hairstyle, but dude, she's been butch. She's been butch with her look, for years. I can't remember the last time Jada actually had naturally long hair. So what Will Smith did, I guess biologically, it could be the right thing, but the person that he did it for, that's why we're all questioning it. Because women like Jada, who conducts herself in a relationship the way Jada's conducted herself in a relationship with Will Smith, she doesn't deserve for Will Smith to have to go and do that for her. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with you the fact that he don't deserve it, but that's what the man chose to be his wife, man. Like he's like none of us are messing with her. All of us would have left her, but he is, and he's staying with it. And at the end of the day, that's between him and her. Yeah, she's not no traditional woman. We all would have left her, but like we're men, bro. We got to protect ours, rather whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just got to ride for yours. That's how I feel. And like with him crying at the end, I think it was just him trying to save face so we can get I Am Legend 2. You feel me?
I'll put it to you this way. You ride for hers, you ride for yours if she's riding for you. I agree with you. If you're in a relationship with a woman and somebody disrespects her, you have to do something about that. But here's the problem. What's happening here, Brandon, is Will Smith is upholding his end of the bargain. At least it would appear so in public. So in public, Will Smith is upholding his end of the bargain. He's not disrespecting Jada's not doing any of that stuff. But Jada's not upholding her end of the bargain. And what this really comes down to is just because a woman commits to you does not mean she gets good treatment all the time. I'm committed to Devin, but if Devin gets out of pocket, I'm not going to reward her for that. What Will Smith essentially did is he's rewarding Jada for being out of pocket. Will Smith went up there hold on. What now that I agree with, but let's take it back and then I'll give you the last word. Will Smith is giving Jada Pinkett the benefit of the doubt in terms of being taken care of by a wife. He is upholding his end of the bargain, but publicly Jada's not upholding her end of the bargain. I'm not going to reward Devin for bad behavior. I'm not going to defend Devin's honor, especially if I know she's been smashing other dudes. So a man disrespected Will Smith by fucking his wife. Chris Rock disrespected Will Smith by, quote, making fun of his wife, but this is the hill he wants to die on. So he doesn't want to smack August around, but he wants to smack around Chris Rock. I'll give you the last word.
So yeah, I agree with you with with not rewarding bad behavior. Will Smith, he's fucking up for the fact that he's staying with her. You know what I'm saying? That's fact. But since Will Smith is a grown man, he has to have those decisions. He's obviously gonna stick with her until he wants to leave her, right? But if until then, all you can do as a man is hold up your end of the bargain, or else you ain't being right. At least you ain't being right, And then as far as the whole August shit, man, that nigga blackballed. We ain't heard nothing but him from I Love It.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That was back in 2012. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's done. We don't know what happened with the back end on that. But as far as just the whole opportunity, I was happy for Will. I was just like, yo, finally let these niggas know not to play with me. It was late for his balls to drop, but shit, it's better late than never. You feel me?
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate your opinion, but I'm still gonna disagree. Yeah, you got to ride for yours, but
all good.
Yeah. And I appreciate the call, Brandon. Yeah, listen, Brandon is I agree with Brandon on some level. If that's the woman that you've chosen to be with, then you absolutely you gotta ride for yours. But again, I'm not going to defend my woman if she has done things to disrespect me. Your woman publicly humiliated you. Okay? Your woman has publicly humiliated you for years. So now you're going to publicly defend her. This makes Will look absolutely stupid. What it's also showing, this sets a bad precedent to young men. What we are telling young men to do is no matter how your wife or girlfriend makes you look in public, that's your wife and that's your girlfriend. You must always respect her in public. No. If your wife disrespects you in public and makes you look stupid, then you as a man, you can't come back and defend that. I don't care. I don't care who that is. What essentially happened is Will Smith is rewarding Jada for bad behavior. And what he's also signaling to other women is like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I deserve to be defended. No matter what, I can go and fuck other guys and I can make my man look stupid. But if somebody calls me out, he needs to come to my defense. Hell no, not doing that. Actually, I don't give a damn. I appreciate the call from Brandon in DC. Let us now go to Touch in California. Touch, is that how your name is pronounced, or?
Yes, that is my actual name.
Oh, okay. Touch in California. All right. What you got? What you got for me on the topic, man?
Hey, Donovan. I think that with this situation, he saw his wife's expression, and then he saw also an opportunity to kind of prove himself to her, like just to prove himself worthy to her.
Right.
And the thing is, with Will, it's like he's been in a perpetual state of trying to prove himself to his wife. You know what I mean? Like just constantly trying to show her that he's worthy, instead of just being in his frame and just being the man that he's supposed to be and not worrying about how does she see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that, just like someone else, I think Rollo or someone else said, he's like a victim of what his wife's been doing to him.
Yes.
And you notice how, like, when people are victimized, they don't attack the people who are victimizing them.
Yes.
They attack everybody else who's
That's
around
right.
them. Anybody who brings something to light, it's like, okay, I'm going to go after you.
Yes.
Instead of dealing with the actual problem. And I think it just shows that he's just really blue pilled, like with his emotions. He's crying on stage and everything. When people get emotional, and this is why I'm sure this was not staged. I believe this was real, but just the way he was so emotional.
Yeah.
When people are emotional and they're in a conflict, they don't say a whole lot of stuff.
No,
That's
they
why
don't.
He repeated himself twice.
You're right.
Don't talk about my wife. You know what I mean? They don't say a whole lot of different things. And also the whole thing with him crying, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're a man and you've been living your life by emotion, getting into a conflict situation kind of triggers tears to come out. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does.
And it takes a lot of practice of having conflicts with people to not react that way. And I think he hasn't had to deal with a whole lot of stuff, but now it's like it's getting to the point where it's embarrassing, and I think at the bottom line, sorry, I don't want to take too much time, but I think like the bottom line, Will is trying to hold on. He's trying to prove to everybody, trying to prove to the world that everybody's wrong about his relationship.
Right.
And he's right.
Right. Dude, totally agree.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much my whole take on it, and I appreciate you for having me on, Donovan.
Absolutely. Touch in California giving his take. Now, one thing that I definitely agree with as far as Touch is concerned, actually, hang on a second. Be patient, guys. Hang on a second. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, Will Smith is trying to prove he's trying to prove himself to the wrong people. And again, just slide it. Thank you. He's trying to prove himself to the wrong people. That's what's going on here. All right, we'll get to the super chats here in a minute. Let's go to Al in Buffalo. Al in Buffalo, you're on Live with Donovan. Was Will Smith right or wrong for what he did?
I think he was absolutely wrong. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Of course, absolutely. Okay, and why do you think he's wrong?
I think for one, as everyone's saying, he shouldn't have been with her. But I think he can't get rid of her.
Right.
There's a lot that went on with how they got together that a lot of people don't speak on. We always say that she was alpha widowed by Tupac, but it's a lot more complicated than that.
Okay.
This guy was hanging around her when he got married in '95. When he got married in '95, he divorced a little bit later. She put money down on his bail, $100,000. $100,000 $1.4 million that his record came for, and then he divorced her later, so there was still this chance for her, and then he gets shot and dies. That same year is the same year that Will comes up to her and marries her. So I don't think it was necessarily that he was never her first choice so much as she never got her feelings sorted out. There was no time for therapy. That. There was no time to sort your mind out in that. She never really knew in my mind that she even wanted Will. So a couple years down the line, when she's reevaluating herself in her midlife crisis, I don't think she's thinking that she wants him, and that's where the Alcina thing comes in with the open marriage relationship.
So it's and thanks for the call, Al. Al made very, very good points. I think what Al just said is something that we've all thought, or something that we all know and understand, is that she was never over Tupac. And now that Al has so eloquently given us the timeline, now it doesn't really seem so out of the ordinary. We already knew that she was Tupac, that she was alpha widowed by Tupac. It should come as no surprise that the same year he dies, that's the same year she kind of moved in on Will. And I think one of the Salt and Pepper she said that Will was just too nice. That's just, you don't think Jada felt the same way? Of course she did. Okay, let me read some of these super chats here. The Mischievous Gentleman, $20, says, Will slapping Chris was sexist because it assumes Jada is too feeble to have slapped Chris herself. He should have let her do it. GPMAs everywhere should be outraged. That is girl power movement activist. Good memory there. Land of Lincoln, $5, says, we may have seen the final death blow of comedy. No one can make fun of anyone anymore for fear of disrespect. I agree. Tony Davis, €5, says, how are you going to ride for a Jezebel? That was an emotional beta reaction based on much more than that joke. I agree. Brandon in DC says, hey, you got to ride for yours. I totally agree, but only if she deserves it. You do not get relationship benefits if you're not upholding your end of the bargain, period. Let's see. Khalif Salahuddin, $20, says, this is just like when black men defend their single mother, even when she is a terrible person and parent with abhorrent behavior because she's his mother. I agree. I think another caller aptly pointed this out. Will Smith reacting to Chris Rock is like the dude getting mad. He's mad at another guy for fucking his wife instead of being mad at his wife. A lot of guys misplace their anger. Oh my God, my girlfriend cheated on me. I'm gonna go kill the bastard. No, it's not his. No, your gripe is not with him. He was just being a man. If it wasn't going to be your wife, it was going to be somebody else's. I tell you guys this all the time. Never, ever, ever misplace your anger for infidelity. If your girlfriend cheats on you, that is her fault. Do not take it up with the guy. Dude, 100% on board with that. Let us go to Gerald in Michigan. So Gerald in Michigan, you say that he was wrong, but you say it goes much deeper than that. What are your thoughts on this, Gerald?
Yeah, man, I think that she really never really wanted him.
Okay.
But she got with him because he was like the number one guy at the time in the movies and TV shows. So it's a good catch for her. But it's like I got an idea that she's jealous of him because his career skyrocketed and she flatlined. Okay?
Okay.
And to me, it's like she had to bring him down a couple of pegs by exposing their personal business. Now, whether they have an open marriage or not, whatever, I don't know.
Sure.
But it's like this. Anybody that's supposed to be your wife or your girlfriend would not do anything in public like that.
Right.
If
everybody has dealt with a woman that you had problems with, and you dealt with them yourself. And if anybody knows, it's because you might talk to your best friend about what happened. That's you.
Right.
But she got on public, bust him out on this red table, sleeping with some nobody who's trying to make it, and then he's just sitting there taking it. It's one thing I found out through the years. See, women love the women's view of love is different from a man's view of love.
Of course.
A man's view of love is respect. See, when a man gets respect, that's where he feel like he's loved because you respect him. See, but she shows him no respect.
None.
So
and hasn't for a while.
He's in love with her, and she don't love him. And then she has the nerve to go off on him in public. And I don't know if he don't want to get divorced and lose most of everything he has or whatever, but she is in there and she just treats him any kind of way, and he's too goddamn weak to shut her shit down.
Okay.
Okay. And he needs to shut her ass down. And what I mean by that is, like, look, lay the law down on how he wants it and the way it should be. And if she can't deal with that, she has to go.
Listen,
and vice versa.
I would agree.
See, because to me, he's too weak. And if you think about his career, all the way from rapping to the Fresh Prince till now, this brother really hasn't had any scandals being in the public eye in Hollywood.
Nope.
You can't think of a scandal with this brother. Actually, he's from what I can tell, he's an all right brother. He's cool. You don't hear no scandals. You don't hear no paternity suits.
Yeah.
You don't hear no fights in the bar.
Yep.
You don't hear no all this kind of craziness that most celebrities get into.
But guess what, Gerald? But listen, hold on, Gerald. Hold on. For those reasons that you just listed, the fact that he is scandal-free, this, unfortunately for him and men like him, this is unattractive to women. Unfortunately. This is exactly why Will Smith is getting done like this, because he doesn't have scandal. Nick Cannon has 8. Exactly. Nick Cannon is about to have, and thanks for the call, Gerald. Nick Cannon, for example, Nick Cannon's got like 7 girls pregnant. He's got like 8 baby mamas. He's always in the news. Future. Future, Offset, these guys that are disrespectful behavior, toxic behavior, girls chase these guys. They chase these guys. When you act like Will Smith, you get done. Your wife ends up like Jada Pinkett Smith. It's incredible. Calvin Baldwin, $5 says this is a clear example of the relationship equity fallacy. Yep. Totally agree. Let's go to Darren in Phoenix. Darren in Phoenix, you're on live with Donovan Sharpe, and you go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. In the words of Coach E.O., I blame the man for this one.
Okay.
Listen.
Let's hear it.
If Will Smith, a long time ago, whenever you got with Jada, when I think it was like the 90s, early 2000s, I'm not too sure. If he would have took his hand, put it in between his legs, and cuffed his fucking balls like a man, this would have never happened. Jada would have never been on the Red Table Talk.
Real talk.
Divulging anything and every. Jada Pinkett Smith reminds me of one of those dogs. They're just not trained properly, and they just run buck wild.
Yep.
They're just everywhere.
Yep.
They're just out of control. And everything she's done, all the Red Table Talk, August, what's his name? Augustina or August, whatever his name is.
Yeah, August something or other.
All this is has just been boiling over for years and years and years. And now Will Smith finally took his hands, put it between his balls, and cuffed his balls, but at the wrong
There you
time.
go.
This was just all built up. And like Coach Eo said, I blame the man for this one. If he would have took responsibility and checked her, this would have never happened at all.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
I just wanted to keep it short and simple.
Okay, very good. Darren in Phoenix, thanks for chiming in. Yeah, listen, I think this goes without saying that this could all be nipped in the bud. This is why, guys, I do what I do. This is why I teach what I teach. This is why I teach what I teach, because I'm sure that there might be people in the comments, well, Donovan, if that were you in that situation, you would have stepped up. No. I would never be in that position in the first place, because the very first time Devin publicly humiliates me, that'll be the last time. And I'm cutting losses. That's just all there is to it. Darren nailed it on the head. If Will Smith had if he had grabbed his Y chromosome and did what needed to be done early on, it would never have gotten to this point. Ever. Root Beer Floats, welcome to chat privileges. At Root for Beer Floats, to welcome him to the TSR family. Root for Beer Floats, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. Don't worry about the 10-minute timer, guys. If you are on the line, you will get on the show. So don't worry about it saying 10 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever. If you've called in, you will get on the show. Let us go to Lord Enzo. Lord Enzo, you're on Live with Donovan. What are your thoughts on this?
Yo, Donovan, I appreciate it, man. This is what I think.
Okay.
I've got to say that I do think that this is a real sad thing that happened. It is a tragedy on Will Smith's name. I've seen this before. I've seen men I'll put it to you like this. Recently, I read a book called Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, and from that context, they talked about the evils of Hollywood, the low-hanging fruits of seduction, which is where the blue pill mentality originates from, all this brainwashing. And Will Smith, he is in pain. He's in so much pain that this guy is out here misdirecting his energy at other men
100%
that are on his level playing field. And to see Will Smith like this, Donovan, I want to say to Will Smith, wherever you are, we are not making fun of you, bro. You got to understand, I want to thank the Red Pill community for being here, because before it was the Red Pill community, for me, at 30 years old, it was just talking to the boys.
That's it.
And Will Smith needs his boys.
That's right.
This is a personal invite from me to come work out at the gym and sit down and talk to your fellow men. Bro, you need your men to, put you back on the game. This is no diss on Will Smith. This is saying, my man, come back to reality.
Listen, truer words never ever spoken, and that's the thing, Lord Enzo, is that men, this is why I tell everybody, this is exactly why I tell everybody in the comments or in the chat, Enzo, is to put your age and location. The reason I tell you to put your age and location in the chat is just in case there's someone who lives near you guys can get together, because finding like-minded men with red pill awareness, it's next to impossible. And we are now starting to see some of the detrimental results for not having men who really understand women, that understand and don't hate women, but understand women for who and what they are. Because had Will Smith had his boys, just like Enzo's talking about, let's just say DJ Jazzy Jeff from way back in the day, he would have never married Jada. Even if he had, his own boy would have said, yo, check this out. Jada used to date Tupac. You ain't never going to be Tupac, man. You need to leave that alone. Lord Enzo, I'll give you the last word, my friend.
I want to say that this community is here to help people. Well, Donovan is here. I'm here, Will. Name's Chris Enzo. Lord Enzo's the YouTube name. I'm out here in Boca Raton, Florida.
Let's do it.
And Will, my dude, you've got to understand that even though you are on the front of all these movie posters, you're still a man. We still got to hang out together. You still got to be there for your brothers, man. And I'm here for my brother, Will.
Okay, good stuff, man. Enzo, I appreciate the call, man. I like that energy. I love the energy, man. I like when guys are fired up about stuff like this. And you should get fired up about this stuff. You should get fired up. Okay, let us go to Kareem. Let us go to Kareem in New York City. Kareem in the NYC. You're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan. How's your day going, man?
So far, so good. How about yours?
I can't complain, man. I'm alive. Woke up this morning.
Real talk. What you got for me, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the call, especially the last caller. Definitely right. You do need a strong team of men around you, not men backstage giving you hugs and gummy bears. You need men that's gonna help you prevent from going down that road, man. But this situation right here, I when I first saw it, I saw the first clip. I thought it was staged because they edited out the audio with him saying, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth."
Yeah, right.
Then when
right,
I saw
right,
that with the audio, yes, yeah, I heard that in Australia it was unedited. So that's how that footage was, retrieved and not retrieved, but that's how it was published, on public platforms. Now, we all know in the ghetto, right? Because I live in the South Bronx. It's a very dangerous area.
Okay.
And there are black men killing each other because of what someone says to them.
Jesus.
Because they don't like what's being said to them.
Right.
And and I'm also to the people saying that Chris Rock should have reacted. I'm glad Chris Rock did what he did, because if he would have reacted in the same manner, it would have went from Will Smith hitting Chris Rock to two Negroes.
There you go.
On the Grammys.
There it is.
So
there it is.
The Grammys are so white to two Negroes fighting. See, I told you these Negroes are not to be trusted.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man.
So, it's like we have to like caller said, he was laughing at first, but you could tell he's going through stuff. You could see it in his body language. He's sitting there. He didn't even look happy to be there.
No.
He's slumped in his chair.
Dude won an Oscar.
And he's laughing at. Yes, man. And it's just crazy because he looks at her reaction. He goes up there and he slaps Chris Rock. And someone saying something to you, your life was not in danger, and it was a joke. And also the comedian, I believe her name is Regina Hall, I think, she made a joke, and they both laughed at it about them being in an open relationship.
There you go.
Was the slap from Jada?
Yeah, right.
And she invited Will Smith on stage. So why didn't Jada get offended and go up on stage? Like, this is...
hold on. Let me answer that question for you, Kareem. Let me answer that question for you, and I'll let you continue. The reason why Jada didn't slap, the reason why Jada didn't have the same reaction as Will, is because Jada does not respect Will. That's the only reason why. Will still, I don't know if Will respects Jada or not. I'll never know. But perception is reality. In public, Jada does not respect Will. In public, Will respects Jada. That's where that imbalance is. Keep going.
Yes, I agree with that, and, just the biggest thing I saw, because, I've had conversations with people, and, I just specifically in this situation from a black man's standpoint, man, we got to stop putting black women on pedestals.
Man.
And every time someone says something you don't like there are people in graveyards because somebody said something to another man that was disliked. And it don't even necessarily have to be so-called disrespect. You want to know something real quick, Donovan?
Yeah.
You will get killed for telling the truth.
Yep.
Faster than getting killed for this. The people take the truth as disrespect because they don't like the way it's delivered, or they don't like what's being said to them. So this is what we're dealing with out here, man. And,
man.
We have to stop. We have to be men. We have to be men. I don't care what you say. I got a life, so.
Kareem in New York.
And, I just said.
Kareem, listen, thank you very much for chiming in, man. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Kareem in the NYC. Yeah. Think about what just happened. And Kareem made a very good point. Let's say Chris Rock decides to hit Will back, and then they get into a fight. Now we've got
90 seconds.
Don't worry, guys. Just because it says 90, 60, and 30, if you are on the line, you will get on the show. So don't ignore those, ignore those. A man committed a crime. A man assaulted another man on national TV because of a woman. If this doesn't show you that women lead men astray all the time, What else does? What else does? Guys, we hear and see examples. We hear and see examples all the time. All the time. A man says something to disrespect a woman. The other man comes and tries to defend her honor, and then the guy gets killed or he gets badly hurt. No, Jada Pinkett is not, dude, she is not worth committing a crime over. Do not commit crimes for your woman. Do not do it. Okay, let us go to James in Orlando. James in Orlando, you're on Live at Donovan.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Sure can.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Well, when it comes to the question, I wanted to keep it, very surface level, without the backstory and everything.
Okay.
To me, in that situation,
10
I feel
seconds.
like I was morally, emotionally, as well as physically weak of will to pull that off in that moment.
Yeah.
I just think that's not how you should conduct yourself as a man. To me, personally, I didn't think the joke was all that bad. I feel like you need to realize the setting that you're in. You're at an award show that has a comedian host.
Yeah.
And all he did was reference to her to someone she looks like, which she kind of does. I mean, let's be honest.
Come on,
she looks
man.
like her. It was a funny joke. And, I just want to respond, if you don't mind, to a lot of women and everywhere on social media saying, oh, if my man ain't stepping like this about me, or that's how my man needs to come for me. I just want to put it out there. To me, there was nothing about that was defending a wife. First of all, to me, it was a weak smack. That's neither here nor there. But
of course.
Nothing about that action was defending or protecting his wife or family.
Right.
And
No,
that's
I agree.
what everyone is running to. I don't. And one thing I wanted to also say as well, a few callers ago, you and a gentleman had made a point. One I kind of didn't agree with, and your premise on that was if Jada was a worthy wife of stepping forward like that.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason I'm saying I disagree because at the surface level, I had the question proposed to me because I've been on social media going back and forth of what you would have done. One, like I said, I would have recognized the setting and I would have had thicker skin in realizing what was going on. And then second, if I would have saw my wife was bothered by it, even if it was just a joke, I would pull her to the side and I would console her.
Just
and
relax.
I would, pump her, make her feel better about herself and let her realize that we're above any kind of joke like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, and I would pull her to the side and pump her and put her in a better mental space. I think that would do a lot more for my woman and for my wife rather than me walking on stage and, to me, making a fool out of myself and making the moment more embarrassing. And then number three, if for any wild reason I really did feel that pressed and that angry and I need to do physical harm to someone, I would have done it off of the stage where it actually could have been done. And it would have been more if I was that angry than just a little smack and walking away.
I appreciate the call, James. And the reason why Will Smith did this in public was to show everyone, look at me. I'm defending my wife in public. Again, a black man committed a crime against another black man because of a black woman. BJ Trucker 5 says, sorry to interrupt. Just a PSA heads up. If Torsha bans you on her channel, she'll most likely pull a Mean Girl and ban you on Rollo's channel. Chick is out of pocket, and this needs to be called out in the space. D, enjoy flowers on me. Appreciate that. Great Dogs, $10 says Chris Rock. Damn, Chris Rock. Damn, I'm going to feel that until August. That would have been a really good one. But seriously, when Amused Master, this is when Amused Mastery was supposed to kick in. Real or staged fail. I agree. Trey Rigsby, $5 says men who don't get violent in every situation are looked at as weak in some women's eyes. You must act emotionally like they would, not diplomatic. Correction, Trey. A man who doesn't get violent in every situation are looked at as weak in a damaged woman's eyes. Because a woman who isn't damaged, a woman who actually has her shit together, knows and understands that, okay, a man can and will get violent if the situation warrants it. This situation clearly did not warrant violence. There was no reason for him to get up and smack Chris Rock across the face. So yes, some women would, it would look weak in some women's eyes, damaged women's eyes. Oh my God, why didn't you kick that guy's ass for me? Because it's just not that serious. Just not that serious. Okay. Let us go to Marcus in New Jersey. Marcus in New Jersey, you're on Live with Donovan.
Hey, how you doing, Donovan?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I love your show, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. What you got for me?
Well, I have a lot on my mind. I'm gonna say this, man. Will did wrong.
Okay.
I think what he should have done was, instead of him going up there and attacking Chris Rock, he should have just sat down, said something verbally, or wait till he won the Grammy or the Oscar or whatever he won, and then try to brush off his shoulder by saying something.
Yep. I agree. I agree. Listen, I agree 100%. Go ahead.
Now, what I want to say is that, hey, listen, Jada Pinkett, she's been on these shows since she was a young, an older teen, different world. Everything that she played as a role was basically a hood role.
Yep.
The exception of Collateral. Will Smith did have Chris Rock on his show on Fresh Prince. So I'm pretty sure at that time, till 2016, they had a great rapport. They had a good, like a nice little bond, friendship or whatever case.
Right.
But now to Jada wanted to talk about boycotting in 2016 the Oscars or the Emmys, whatever it was, and then Chris Rock made that joke about her in a reference of Rihanna's panties. There's no invitation. She probably said something to Will to make him feel type of way. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm pretty sure you got other callers on the line.
Yeah.
I look at it like this, man. Will's a puppet, and she's the puppet master.
Yep.
Will should have been left her. Once that red table incident happened. But right now, Will's gonna be a type of person. He's gonna be heartbroken when she gets tired of having him dangling on the strings, and she's gonna end up cutting the strings off. He's gonna fall hard. I think he's staying because he don't want the divorce or whatever the case may be in the public eye. But listen, she dealt with her son's friend, whoever that August Alsina, whatever.
Yeah.
That's in the naked eye.
Right.
So the damage is already done. I look at it as this. It's for men and women, especially men, because one caller said that you're supposed to ride with your wife or ride with your lady. That's fine, but if she's not respecting you,
that's right,
or not earning respect, what is the point of riding for? Let her go.
I agree. Listen, Marcus, I agree 100%.
Now,
go ahead.
And what I want to say, I'm sorry, I ain't even cut you off.
No, go ahead. You're right.
I got so much stuff in my mind.
Go ahead, man.
I'm a big fan of Will Smith, and all she's doing is dragging his name in the mud, and he's just sticking by her because he had a wife before, and he ended up getting divorced. I don't know who initiated the divorce, but he felt bad about it. Said he wished he could have worked things out to keep her as his wife.
Right.
My thing is, men and women. I live by this motto through my father that passed away. I'd rather break my own heart by leaving than someone that I love doing it for me.
Ooh, I like that. So you'd rather break your own heart by leaving than have someone else do it for you, because it hurts a lot less at that point, doesn't it?
Exactly. Well, someone that I love doing it for me.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. That's actually quite profound.
If you have a person that you love and they're basically shitting on you, and you're gonna think, oh well, we had a bad day. Then the next day, everything is good. Everything's all rosy. I smell the petunias. It's still gonna be the same shit.
That's right. That's right.
I feel as though like merch, like Chris said on Fresh and Fit, love that show as well. What Chris Rock did when he threw the bait out there, Jada Pinkett is the angler, she's a fisherman, and Will took the bait.
No, I agree. Will took the bait, and it's funny if you watch the video. And thanks for the call, Marcus. I appreciate that. If you look at the video, you can see, just like Tallulah said earlier, Will Smith laughed. He thought it was funny, but then Jada was like, "I don't think I really like this too much," and that's when Will took action. Before we go to Perry in New Jersey, followed by Evo in Brentwood, let me read these super chats. Brizzy Lizzie, 87, $5, says, poor Will is probably trying to make up for the damage done to his masculinity, ironically by his wife. 100% agreement there. Ostrike, $10, is another example of how Will Smith is an emotional wreck. How can a grown man laugh at the joke, then turn around and smack the comedian publicly, then not apologize to him publicly? I agree again. Hypersonic X99, $5 says, this is nothing but emotional damage. To be honest, Will Smith should not conduct himself being a pleaser to everyone or to his wife. No rewards for bad energy. Master Roshi, 35 Zars. I don't know how much that is, but I appreciate that. He says, thank God for men like you, Donovan. You need to teach these young boys how to act and reprimand behavior like Will did. And you can learn how with my 5-hour, 7-part audio, or my 7-part, 5-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. Let us go to Perry in New Jersey. Perry in New Jersey, on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Doing good.
All right, so I just wanted to start off by saying, so a few people have touched on this, but I'm surprised most people aren't, is the fact that the one thing that made me think it wasn't staged is that the Smith family, the boycott that they did was the fact that there wasn't a lot of black inclusion in the Oscars.
Right.
So I couldn't possibly see the executives coming to him and telling him to act a fool when this is the most inclusive Oscars yet.
Okay.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No,
right?
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Perry. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a very good point.
Yeah. So with that being said, I will say I'm honestly not like. Listen, man. I'm 30 years old. I've been through all kinds of drug addiction. I grew up outside Detroit. Like I've seen some fucked up shit in my life, and I've heard a lot of stories from a lot of people with different races, different backgrounds, different sexualities, all that shit. So I'm not really with that red pill, blue pill, alpha male, beta male bullshit. We all got feelings. We all hide them in different ways. We all do different things to whatever. So with that being said, from the interviews that I've seen and a lot of movies that Will has done, he's a very emotional person.
Yeah.
And I feel like it seems to me, regardless of the situation he has with his wife, y'all can say what you want about the relationship that he has going on. That's his business. If they had that figured out behind closed doors and people want to clown on him, that's cool, whatever. But what I will say is, regardless of who you are, that's going to take a toll on you. And I don't think when he smacked Chris that he was smacking Chris. I think he was smacking all the people that he was fed up with, all the people that he was that were talking shit on him. And when he was crying, I don't think he was crying about obviously, like you said, the award or even what happened. I think he was crying because you're looking at a man that's been broken, and you can say that his wife broke him or blah blah blah. But I think it's the fact that he has been such a positive public figure for so long, and now he has been looked at in a negative light. And he did a roundtable, actors roundtable, not too long ago, where he talked about that the reason that he didn't take the Django part in Django Unchained because he was the first choice.
Oh,
he said he denied it. He said he denied it because even though it was a love story, it was a story about revenge. And he said that even when it comes to love, he believes that violence isn't the answer. And then look what he did tonight, and his excuse was love makes you do crazy things.
Wow.
That is a man that is a man that has been broken. Period. It doesn't matter. Like, y'all can talk crazy about his wife or whatever, and even though I don't agree with what she's done. It's not just one thing, just like you ain't nobody's red pill, blue pill, mental health, blah, blah. That's all bullshit, man. It is an abundance of things that make somebody do what he did that night. And so that's what I got to say about that.
Perry in New Jersey coming with a strong opinion, man. Look, I agree with Perry, man. I don't agree with everything he said, but I totally agree with Perry in that this is definitely a broken man. This is a broken man, and I had no idea that Will Smith was ahead of Jamie Foxx, because Jamie Foxx was the one that got the Jamie Foxx was the one that played Django, and I did not know that Will Smith was thought of for the character first. So I appreciate Perry in New Jersey for setting the record straight there. Give me 2 seconds here. Got to make sure we are good to go. Very good call by Perry in New Jersey. Let us go to Evo in Brentwood, New York. Evo, you are on live with Donovan. What you got on the topic, man?
Hey, what's up, Donovan? This is Evo in New York.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. Couple things. Most of the callers, they touched on the topic. Chris Rock, during the whole protest in 2016, he came out and said, "Ain't nobody paying my bills. I'm not doing this protest, blah, blah, blah." And they all got mad at him. So there's already beef between that situation.
Oh, okay.
The second thing I wanted to top on, I mean, you'll do your research later and do another clip later and pop it in.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Another thing that my man from the Bronx brought up, this happens every day in the hood, every day in the streets, you know what I mean? I'm from New York. No matter where you're from, suburbs, city, it don't matter. This happens every day. The difference is you're looking at a red lens. Go back to your old self back in college, Donovan, and think about how you would react. That's how he's reacting. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? And hopefully we all go through changes. You know, you look back at your history and go, how was I as a teenager? How was I at 20, at 25, at 30, 40, whatever? You know what I'm saying? So you see all this in your red light, in your red lens. Yeah. Look at it at the blue lens, because that's where Will is. He is definitely hurt, like the other callers did. But if you look at it that way, you're gonna see a better light on how his reaction is. And this is why it's very important for guys like you, like Rollo, you know, Freshman Finn, and everybody else. Sorry if I missed anybody, but
no, it's all right.
All those people, they're all pointing out, look at your life, and if you want things to be better, these are the metrics that you have to follow to make your life better.
That's exactly right. No,
I've been with my girl 21 years.
Wow.
Listen, 21 years, ain't married. I got a 17-year-old daughter. Everything's good. I brought her to the front door when my daughter was born and said, "Did we ever lock that door?" She said, "No." So anytime you want to F and leave, you leave.
There you go.
That, all this nonsense needs to stop. You're on my program.
Good.
And that's what men need to do. Will is not, they're not on Will's program. They're on Jada's program.
They are on Jada's program. Evo in New York, thank you for calling, man. Very, very good call. This is why we teach what we teach, guys. This is why we teach what we teach. And forgive me the last caller if I forgot who that was. This is why we teach what we teach. This is why you have to set the tone early in the relationship. Guys, this situation is exactly what happens when you approach your relationship from fear, scarcity, and lack. For whatever reason, and we can go all into that a little bit later on, but Jada is simply doing what Will has allowed her to do. And so it's gotten so bad that now Will is making him look bad because of his wife. Will is making himself look bad. See, before it was just Jada making him look bad, but now not only is Will making himself look bad for condoning this kind of behavior, now you are assaulting another man for saying something about your unfit, unworthy wife. Even if Jada were the picture of femininity and grace, that's not how you handle this. You handle this behind closed doors. But the reason why Will handled it this way is because he's under the direction of a woman. He's under the direction of a woman. He reacted emotionally. And I agree with what the other caller said. We're not impenetrable. I'm human. I admitted on my live stream, guys, listen, man, trolls and haters, they bug the shit out of me. That's why I shield myself from that stuff. But by the same token, you still got to be able to reach down to your Y chromosome and do what needs to be done. Will has never done that with Jada. And now we're at the point where Will is committing crimes against people, defending his unworthy wife. Unbelievable. Kyle in Georgia, you are on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
How you doing, Donovan?
Doing good. How about you?
pretty awesome, dude. I'm pretty fired up, man. Listening and hearing all this got me super fired up. But yeah, dude, it's a little too late. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he's disrespected like himself all this time. So it's like there's no going back, man. And this is just like cuckolding, like basically. I mean,
do you think? Let me ask you this, Kyle. Do you think there's any way? Do you think there's any way that their relationship can come back from this?
I don't know. I think this is a nail in the coffin. I think she probably got some sick satisfaction out of watching him like make a fool out of himself even further.
Yep. No, I agree.
So I tend to like 100% agree with everything that you said.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate Kyle in Georgia for chiming in. Let's go to Bad Wrench Entertainment in Minnesota. BWE, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. Now I can hear you. Go ahead, Bad Wrench Entertainment. What you got for me, man?
Not much, Donovan. Thank you for taking the calls today.
Of course.
And let's go ahead and drop some bombs on this community.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the whole red pill rage thing. I don't really believe in red pill rage.
Okay.
I believe the rage starts in blue pill.
Okay.
And Will Smith is now a prime example of what blue pill rage is.
Ooh.
It's the awakening once you come out of that, I fucked up, now I have to deal with my consequences.
I like that. I like that a lot. And so you think that explains his behavior?
Absolutely.
Wow.
When you're publicly humiliated by someone who you hold close to you,
Yes.
when you haven't properly vetted that person, you take it very personal. And whether or not they staged the whole thing or not, that doesn't matter. These things happen all over the country to
Yes.
men every single day.
That's all right. That's all right. I agree with you. BW. I don't think, I think a lot of people want to point to the fact that, yes, this is, this was all staged and this and that and the other. I don't think it matters, man. I think the optics are bad. And I think what it does is it solidifies what we already know about the Smith family. Dude, just like MLD said a little bit earlier, this whole family is screwed up. Dude, look at Willow Smith. Look at Jay. Like, their whole family is just all kinds of fucked up. I'll give you the last word, man.
Yeah, it's a prime example of when you live a life of excess, you tend to fall into the groups that made you get there in the first place. And the more you surround yourself with bad people,
that's it,
bad morals,
yep,
with bad goals, this is where we get society going. And it's going to take a miracle to turn it around, just because I see the direction things are going.
Yeah, it's going to have to get worse before it gets better.
Correct.
Bad Wrench Entertainment, thanks for chiming in, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Donovan.
Absolutely. BWE dropping some knowledge. Jesus Christ. Cage Jackson, $20, says, been traveling, catching up on your vids. Will knew who to run up on. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson told that joke, he would have known his role and shut his mouth. Much love, Mr. Sharpe. Yeah. He wouldn't have. I think Chris Rock is probably he's the only person I think that Will probably could have pulled this off with. Because he doesn't go up there and smack. He doesn't go up there and smack The Rock. The Rock would break his ass in two. Ozstrike, $5, says, it's funny how nobody reacted to the slap at first. Even Chris was like, is this a bit? Yeah, exactly. No one could believe what just happened. King Life, $5, says, what if Chris Rock represents everything Will wants to be? Chris is single and he doesn't have to worry about his ex. Will does. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Let us go to David in New Jersey. David in New Jersey, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, hey, Donovan. Just want to say thanks for getting a call on with me.
Of course.
My only point I wanted to make was, I wanted to make 2 points. The first one being that, when I saw this first happen, I was like, oh, that's not right. But I was like, it's understandable, because basically through the past couple of years, Will Smith has been bullied this whole time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like him finally standing up for himself and trying to prove himself. But it's like, I think it's more towards himself.
Okay.
Trying to make himself, prove that he's a man versus trying to prove it to her. Because, like, I think when he was laughing at first initially and then he saw his wife saddened, he was reminded of everything that happened with, the August situation, everyone
Yes.
him over the years. And
Yes.
I think that's what triggered him to get up and do that.
Wow.
So I think it's more about himself and, like, him feeling like, I have to do something about this. I'm tired of this. This is enough. Enough is enough. And I'm not saying I would do the same thing in his situation, but I can't even imagine going through all that throughout all these years and, being famous and just constantly being ridiculed and then, not doing anything. So I think it's not right, but I do think it's understandable for sure.
Okay, very good.
And then,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, then my last thing was, I feel like a lot of famous people or men in general, I think a lot of people in general just don't understand the dynamics between men and women and don't understand, like,
yes.
The red pill philosophy, if you will. And I think that, like, it should be more well known. Like, I think if this was taught in school, men and women wouldn't get in these situations where, you have this conflict. Like, Jada doesn't respect Will.
No.
And she probably never will.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the right suitable partner for her.
Nope.
And Will never get that respect or get that feminine energy out of her because he doesn't know how to be a man for her. All he knows how to do is act. But he was never taught how to be, that ideal man for his wife. So I think that should be something that changes in society in general. So that was just my main point.
Okay. Thanks for calling in, David, New Jersey. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. David in New Jersey. Hang on. I got to kick out my cat. Hold on. Walter. All right. You got to go. Get. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Had to kick Walter out of there. Good call. Very, very, very good call by David in New Jersey. All right, let us go to Scotty in New York. Scotty in New York, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, I love your work. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, I pretty much agree with a lot of the stuff that I heard here today. I mean, he showed himself as her lapdog.
Yep.
Chris cracks a joke. Will laughs a little bit. She scowls and basically
Boom.
sicked him on Chris.
Yep.
And you know what? Will has to live with the consequences.
That's right.
If public opinion swings against him, guess what she's going to be saying? Will's got anger problems.
Oh,
Their relationship is so difficult. If they go to court, what's she going to say if they go to court, if they get a divorce?
Oh, wow.
Didn't you see him on TV?
Yes. Oh, wow. Wow, that is very, very interesting. And again, and see, this is something that Will hasn't thought about because Will does not think like a man. He more or less reacted like a woman. Dude, I agree with you 100%, Scotty, because when and if this ever goes to court, that's the first thing Jada's going to say. Well, Will was Evisaba spelled backwards, and in the proof, look what happened. He went and he smacked Chris Rock on national TV, then got all heated, and it was just a joke. Behind closed doors, it's even worse. I'll give you the last word, Scotty.
Yeah, another caller said that he's her puppet, and I think we all saw that last night.
Very good. Scotty in New York, dropping the knowledge. Appreciate that very, very much. Maya Joy 57 says, "What's up, Walter? Leave him in there. He's the star of the show." He's the star of the show until he starts unplugging shit. Oh my goodness. But I do appreciate that. Let us go to Carolyn. Let's go to Carolyn in Ireland. Carolyn, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead. Carolyn, are you there? Carolyn, I can barely hear you. I can hear you, but you're breaking up. Okay, I'm going to put Carolyn on hold. Make sure she can get her stuff together here. Let us go to Derek in Virginia. Derek in Virginia, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
What's going on, Dom?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Oh, man, I can't call it. Look, I want to say a couple things. First of all, to Brandon, no. That man should not have hit another man, especially on national TV.
I agree.
And I say Chris was going to hit him, but he managed to gather his masculine frame and not turn it into a brawl.
Okay. So you think it was Chris? So you think Chris Rock, and he's a man. If somebody hits you, your instinct is to hit them back. So is it your opinion that
right.
he exercised?
And if you watch the video, his fist is balled up and he's ready to strike, but then he comes back to his senses and realizes where he's at.
Wow. That makes all the sense in the world. I guess I haven't really watched that closely.
And nobody touched on that. Yeah, and Brandon, you can't defend a woman if she's making you look like shit in public.
Dude.
It just makes you look like more shit.
Listen, I've said it once and I'll say it again, Derek. You cannot. Will is upholding his end of the bargain, but Jada's not upholding her end of the bargain. Jada has publicly humiliated Will Smith, but Will Smith is steady defending the woman who is humiliating him. So you can fuck my wife, and I'm not going to smack you, but you tell a bad joke about my wife, and I'm going to slap you. It just doesn't make any sense. I'll give you the last word, Derek.
And then the pimp walk on the way back to his chair like he did something.
Yeah.
That kind of got my goat a little bit. I'm like, you're on TV looking like a fool.
Right.
And you really feel like you did something. But all you did was make yourself and other guys like you look bad.
It's unbelievable. Derek, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for chiming in.
Appreciate you, Donovan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Derek said that's what upset him was Will Smith walking back to his seat like he'd done something. Those of you guys who watch my premium content, my dating show breakdowns, you guys know that the thing that probably pisses me off the most now is when I see other men fighting each other because of women. I do not like it boils my blood when men shit on each other because of a woman. And I put something on Instagram a while back that said something to this effect. Women close ranks to keep men in the dark about what they really get up to. We as men, we consistently, unfortunately, break ranks to impress women we'll never fuck who don't have any respect for us. That boils my blood. So when I see this kind of stuff playing out on dating shows, et cetera, it makes me angry because I think to myself, when men are never like, dude, the world doesn't give a fuck about us as it is. Now we're turning on each other for the very women that a lot of these red pill guys claim to hate. Nah, man. It never, ever makes any sense. Let's try Carolyn in Ireland again. Carolyn, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, Carolyn.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I think she got my name wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's Demon Foxy, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, what's on your mind?
I'm a bit shy.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. What's on your mind, Demon Foxy?
I watched the clip over and over again.
Okay. And what were your thoughts on it?
Basically, Will getting up and hitting him was the punchline.
Oh, so you think this may have been staged?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, I appreciate the Demon Foxy calling in. Let's go to, looks like somebody's name is Dr. Doe. Let's go to Dr. Doe in Nebraska. Dr. Doe in Nebraska. You're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Donovan, man?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
First of all, shout out. Oh, good, man. Shout out to you, man. Rollo Tomasi's breakdown. Whew, that was really killing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to you, man, for always bringing that heat and the good content, man. You really are one of the great ones out here, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Want to
Thank
give
you.
you a flowers. Absolutely, man. I just have like a few short points here. One is I totally agree with you. I've been saying this all day on the internet. The assault thing, dude, you can't do that. You can't walk up on stage on live TV and hit a motherfucker in the face because of something that he said. And you know, here's the other thing too. A lot of people keep using this whole like, well, freedom of speech. You got to prepare for the consequences. Look, man. It's a crime for you to make a call to action that leads to bad things happening to people. That's the consequence of free speech. Here's the thing. If you do something, assault a person that did make that call to action, guess what? You just committed a crime too.
That's right. Inciting a riot.
Just like them. Exactly. And if you go and beat down or kill the person that incited the riot, you're just as culpable. You'll go to jail for that too. And so it's like you can't go, you know, so the whole consequence of free speech is something that, you know, you can't beat a motherfucker's ass because they said something you don't like.
Right.
Number two, the G.I. Jane thing, G.I. Jane is a badass icon. She's a prototypical Mary Sue character. For those that don't know what the Mary Sue trope and character is, that's a person with undeserved or unexplained powers and abilities.
There you go.
Positive powers and abilities. And literally, Chris Rock said, Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
That's all it was, bruh. That's all it was.
Yeah, absolutely. It just shows you, if you believe that Chris Rock was being cruel to Jada for cruelty's sake, that is freaking stupid. That is just stupid. You really believe that he sat there and thought this: you have alopecia, your hair is falling out, you're a bald head, therefore I'm going to literally make a joke about that.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That man's a professional. He is a professional. That is ridiculous. And all it does is justify the whole bullshit punching up philosophy that a lot of these beta cucks are always arguing about and justifying Will's behavior, which is unjustified. Here's the other thing. Will and Jada have been friendly for years. You know, hell, on one of the callers mentioned the Fresh Prince episode that he was on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Chris Rock was such a friend that not only did he do the episode and play a demeaning character, he played it in drag. He played a woman that was wanting to be a love interest for Will Smith.
Yeah.
And he was like the ugly girl.
Yep.
He was the ugly sister. He was like the ugly cousin of DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yep.
The character of Jazz.
Yes.
And so
yes.
he went in drag for Will Smith's show. Totally made fun of himself.
Unbelievable.
And so it's just crazy. Jada also, here's the other thing that makes it, that speaks to the broken nature of Will.
Okay.
Jada is that person that I think in that marriage that really thinks she's better than Will. I think she feels that she's the real actor.
Do you really?
Been the famous.
Let me ask you this.
And
wait, hold on. Before we go any further, let me ask you this. Do you really think that Jada thinks she's better than Will, or do you think that that's what she wants us to think? Because I can't imagine. Listen, I don't think. Listen, Jada's a lot of things. I don't think she's stupid. So, do you think that she really thinks this, or do you think that this is just what she wants to convey?
You know what? That might be a good little angle to
think
about. I think that it is that. I think it is that she wants us to believe she's better than Will.
Okay.
And so, but I do think that there's something in her that looks at him like he was the corny rapper that basically was the light version of Kanye West back in the day that got lucky.
Wow.
And got a bunch of opportunities for the rap world. Unlike Tupac, who was the one that was spitting that real shit on the mic.
Right.
And so I think I actually think that there's a part of her or a side of her that has what I call the Martha Stewart syndrome.
Okay.
You remember Martha Stewart used to literally embarrass her husband. She would tell him, "I'm more talented than you. I'm actually better than you."
Now that I didn't know.
Now, mind you, her ex-husband was he graduated from Harvard Law School.
Oh wow, smart guy.
Like a successful lawyer. And then he made a small fortune in the publishing world. And Martha used to emasculate him at every chance she got.
Unbelievable.
And
no respect, man.
I think that Jada suffers from the thing. Yeah.
She has no respect.
That's. No, I think she has very little to no respect for Will. Absolutely, and again, I think he's out of pocket because again, it was misdirected anger and it was misdirected violence, unfortunately, towards the wrong cat. Chris Rock, that was just uncalled for, and again, Chris Rock didn't do anything. I think that joke was harmful, maybe a little tasteless, but I still think it was harmful.
Okay.
And I think it was meant to be complimentary. That's the other thing that I think people are just like, how do you make a joke about this woman having alopecia? I'm like, dude, it was complimentary.
Right.
You're going through alopecia, and you're gonna, and let's say the possibility of you to play a badass character as a sequel, as a black woman as the main character.
That's a compliment.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. So that's all I got, man. I want to tell you, man, good luck with the new CME. I was at the last CME last year, man. It was freaking awesome, man. It was a great time. So I wish you all the best, man. And yo, man, shout out to TSR, man, doing your thing, man.
Dr. Doug in Nebraska. Thanks for chiming in, brother.
Absolutely, man.
All right, take care.
Later.
Listen, Dr. Doug coming with the dude. He's coming with the fire. Ostrike, $5 says damn near knocked out. Said damn near knocked out Chris with the palm strike. He could have made his point by just slapping him with his Mickey Mouse glove. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Let's go to Jay in South Carolina. Jay in South Carolina, you're on with Donovan Sharpe. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Donovan. How you doing?
Doing good. How about you, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. Seeing that, I couldn't even believe it, man.
Yeah, dude.
How you can be so stupid to do something like that? But I can tell that Chris, that was not staged.
I don't think it was either.
Face,
I don't think it was either,
man.
man.
Chris had his fist balled up.
Yeah.
If that was anywhere else, we'll been picking up some teeth.
It's going down. Real talk. Real talk behind a bitch.
Yeah, but behind all that, and that don't make any sense. And I can tell you right now, that is a prime example. And I'll tell you, some people may not agree with it, but I say that is a perfect example for young men to see.
Okay.
To see what happens when you have a blue pill mindset. Doing that kind of stuff, if that was in any other setting and that was anybody else, they'd be 6 feet under.
Dude,
because
real talk.
Messing around with, for real, they would get themselves killed.
Yep.
Because it don't be fooled by what celebrities do. If you do that mess in the street, you're gonna get yourself killed.
Real talk. And the only reason why
all these
go ahead.
No, that's all I'm saying is, and you see on the forums, and it's like, oh, I wish my man would do that for me. On the forums with all these women that say, oh, I wish my man would do that for me. If somebody's saying like that, and I'm saying there's so many examples. There's enough examples that show up on the news.
Mm-hmm.
You see people doing something stupid like that, and they end up getting fed a bullet.
Real talk, man. Jay in South Carolina, thanks for calling in. Listen, we talk about this all the time. You cannot pay attention to what people are doing out on TV. And there was one, I think we discussed this, with when Dev and I were on Fresh and Fit, is women put men in danger all the time. They really, really do. And the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, that's a microcosm of what women are doing every day. Let's you and him fight. D with the $5 super chat says, Will played himself to the utmost. Another win for feminism, liberal, and the emasculation of men movement. Sad. I agree. Let's go to DJ in Arizona. DJ in Arizona, you're on Live at Donovan. Go ahead.
Yo, Donovan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, man.
Man, what's up, bro? I want to give a shout out to you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Rollo. You guys definitely changed my life, bro.
Thank you. I love hearing that stuff.
Yeah, man, I just want to comment on the situation with Will Smith.
Okay.
And, bro, Will Smith and Chris Rock, bro, they both was in the wrong. I think right now what we're witnessing is a battle between the blue pill and red pill for sure. Because first of all, what Will Smith did, going through and slapping him, I think that he thought that was a masculine thing to do.
Yeah.
To protect his wife and her image. But at the same time, it was a clear image of emasculating men on both sides.
Yep.
from Will Smith as well Chris Rock. Because Chris Rock, he just sat there and took it.
That's right.
You know, I'm be honest. If I got some match, hey, there's gonna be a squad right there. You're gonna have to go to commercial break, like point blank. So for that to occur, honestly, if we have to really look at it from an outside perspective, I just really look at it clearly right now. What is going on, and it seems like it is a form of manipulation or brainwashing two men. That's what I took for it while I'm seeing it. You know, especially after following you guys with the red pill content and everything y'all been hooking us up with. And bro, it's blatantly clear. This is what they want. It's like they're telling men, specifically black men in this case, that it's okay to put your freedom at risk.
Yep.
And it's okay to just let somebody just slap you around. Like what the fuck? No, excuse my language. Sorry about that, but
no, but you're making sense.
You know, and another thing too, bro. I want to throw in there as well, and I'm putting two and two together a little bit from Will Smith and his career. By the looks of it, it's a possibility that Will Smith is maybe potentially going through some form of midlife crisis. The reason why I say that, because I looked it up online and everything, and he's having some identity issues. And you know what? One thing that pointed out to me a lot, he had an interview about Bad Boys, and they asked him about the character of
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was saying, bro, Mike Lowry is a character that I wish I can be. Like,
woo!
Wow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, and it's funny too, because, you know, you look at his daughter, you look at Jada. Jada, they're both huge, almost like the forefront of the feminist group, basically black feminist, new age black feminist group, which is completely emasculating black men in entirety. You know, and basically displaying this is what us men, and specifically black men, not to say, you know, other races going through something. They are,
sure,
especially if you're American,
right?
And you know, and that's what I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
And Will Smith, it just seems like he's playing ball. You know what I mean? Just playing ball. Because at the end of the day, you know, she knows the fact that he's out of her league. She knows that. You know what I mean? And he knows the fact that at the end, it's like he trying to put on an image, for one. Two is not to say I don't think he worried about divorce, to be honest with you. But I think
he definitely is.
Look at it because dude's rich. He can take half and he's still banking and still can fucking eat bitch you want.
Okay.
He can afford it. He's gonna go back to CGA.
Look, I agree. No, listen, I agree. And along the same lines, and thanks for the call, DJ. Along the same lines, yeah. What can you do with $175 million that you can't do with $350? That's still $175 million. Like, nobody wants to lose that kind of money. EP Signature with the welcome to chat privileges. At EP Signature to welcome him or her to the TSR family. Ostrike, $5, says, Will try to convince us that he's an alpha by, quote, protecting his family, but in truth, he's a beta protecting his own ego. Oh, wow. Good God. All right, let us go to Ty in Canton. Ty in Canton, you're on live with Donovan Sharpe. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely.
So, first off, I just want to say he was definitely in the wrong for what he did. I have a few points. I don't know if they were already made or not, but first off, Jada cut his balls off publicly, you know, a couple years back.
Yep.
And ever since then, you see him trying to reemerge himself as an alpha male. You know, he had that post where, hey, I'm going back into the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and everything like that. So he was trying to puff himself up, and he saw an opportunity of, hey, if I go up there and I slap him, A, I'm going to, you know, get brownie points from Jada. But B, there's not going to be any repercussions because look at Chris Rock compared to him in size-wise, like the one Super Chat said,
Yeah.
if it were The Rock, he wouldn't have done it.
He wouldn't have done that shit.
Right? No way. And then secondly, socially wise, he was in a scenario where if Chris Rock would have reacted back and hit him back, Chris Rock would have been in the bad, and just that. So it was a social scenario where he knew there was going to be no repercussions for his actions as well.
This is kind of like, Ty, this is kind of like women assaulting men in public. They know that they can assault men in public because there are not going to be repercussions, which is why they don't hesitate to assault men in public. Will Smith didn't even break stride. He just got up and slapped Chris Rock straight up. He did it in such a way where he knew there wasn't going to be repercussions, and there weren't. It was almost like reactionary. He didn't stop to think about, okay, I'm about to get up and commit a crime on international television. But none of it ever crossed his mind because he knew the social situation he put himself in. I'll give you the last word, Ty.
Exactly. One other thing I wanted to follow up with is you can also look at the mindset that he has when you look at his book when he was referring to his father, when he was talking about his father abusing his mother growing up.
Yeah.
And how he wanted to kill him.
Yes.
You can see that he's been in an emotional state the
man.
entire time of his life.
Yep. It's
Thank you for the call.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, Ty. Dude, Ty is bringing some knowledge, man. Unfortunately, Will Smith is he's gonna end up another statistic, man. He's another statistic. Ostrike says callers on point. Cowards attack people who can't fight back. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. It's easy to get into a fight against somebody that you're gonna destroy. Like it's very, very easy from that. Oliver Twisticle says protecting a woman that doesn't love you is simping. Abso-fucking-lutely. Let's go to Mark in Miami. Mark in Miami, you're on Live at Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm inspired by Myron. As you were talking, I was taking notes and everything.
Okay, what you got, man?
Yeah, I really did, because I really got to get these points up, because I wanted to say that Chris Rock did that same routine as you know Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah, Ricky Gervais.
Because Ricky Gervais did the same routine on the Golden Globes. And let's be honest, Donovan, you and I both know when Ricky Gervais was on stage, does the same thing Chris Rock does. We the audience, me, you and me, I'll admit, we applauded, we laughing, and we said, yeah, go get those celebrities, right?
Yep.
And Chris Rock did the same thing. And I would say to myself, for those of you who say, or who are on the side of Will Smith and saying, oh, what Chris Rock did was wrong, you are a flat-out hypocrite.
Real talk.
Ricky Gervais, a white guy. Yeah, a white guy. Nobody said nothing. The audience, and let me tell you something, the ratings of the Golden Globes go up when he always talks, trash, insults every celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody said nothing. It wasn't no big deal. But now Will Smith, now he became a black man and turned into a nigga last night.
That's right.
So now when Chris Rock he turned into a nigga last night.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoa. So are you telling me, if Ricky Gervais was coming out, you do the same thing? I highly doubt that.
That's right.
But I'm gonna get to my second point,
Okay.
Donovan, listen, hear me now. Feminism is the least of our worries.
Okay.
The number one issue we got to deal with is this one word: emasculation.
Boom.
Emasculation.
Boom.
Yes. If we do not address this issue, we're not going to go nowhere as men. The main topic of discussion is we got to take care of this topic called emasculation. I hope Rollo talks about it. I hope everybody in the manosphere talks about it, because the thing about it is when it comes to Jada, listen, when it comes to Jada, she done went out and done embarrassed Will.
Yep.
Embarrassed Will. Ever since she went to did that table talk, which got to my third point, frame control. Now, Donovan, you know what I noticed?
What's
when
that?
I was watching when I was watching after Chris Rock did the joke. You look at Jada's face. Look at Jada's face.
Oh
and
yes.
Look at Will Smith's
Oh
face.
yes. He smiled, and Jada was like, "Oh God, yeah."
Yeah. And look, and you notice the difference. Jada held frame, and what did Will do?
Lost it.
He stood up. Yeah, lost it.
There it
There's
is.
another point.
There
now,
it is.
frame control. That's what I say. That's another thing I need to address to all the men. Frame control. You know, Chris Rock did that petty joke. It was a petty joke. G.I. Jane, really? G.I. Jane. I mean, I'm going to come up on stage and slap a guy in the face for comparing to a woman who is not that. I mean, well, I don't know about Demi Moore. At that time, she looked good with bald head and everything. But, you know, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. But that's another issue that is, and that's frame control.
Right.
Now, let's get to the fourth point. Point number 4. Will Smith. Here's the thing. Will Smith is emotionally invested in Jada.
Yes, he is.
Emotionally invested in the wrong woman.
Yep.
Which I got this one word for this. Will Smith, here's a word I got for you. Emotionally submissive.
Woo!
He is emotionally submissive to Jada. Okay? Emotionally submissive.
Unbelievable.
Guys, I want you to write this down. Emotionally submissive to Jada. Right? So you go up in, you look at her because Jada's so pretty, this, that, and she's a celebrity, and then he got all emotional. You're my heart, you're my soul, you're my love, you're my being. He does it everywhere he goes, on every award show. Okay? Now imagine, now think about this, Donovan, this is serious. Now imagine if he gets through a divorce and this and that. You don't think in his mind he's going to get a lot depressed and everything like that.
Yep.
And then he starts thinking about it. It's kind of like a heroin addict. Okay. You may say, oh, Will, you come on now. We're here for you. No, it's not hard because it's kind of like a guy who's a heroin addict.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, unless if you give him the red pill, even if you give him the red pill. Oh, he's going to have some rage because he refused to accept the reality of Jada and everything, even though you tell him. But it's up to him to come to that conclusion. You just can't give him the red pill and say, hey, no, Jada. You know how it is. You have a relative or anybody, and you tell them, hey, no, don't mess with Jada. Don't mess with Jada. You have these situations. When you tell your relative, your friend, or whoever, and you say, no, she's bad for you. She's a whore. She does this, she does that. And you know what he tells you? No, but she's not like that.
Yes,
she's not like all the other women.
Yeah, she's not like all the other women, and what we have is different, and what we have is different or special. And thanks for the call, Mark. He made some very good points, but he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Will is emotionally submissive to Jada. He really is. D, $5 says, as a psychotherapist, I'm worried about Will. He needs some help ASAP. Too many to count. Yuhiro Kamara says, we shouldn't wait until he self-deletes. Y'all remember Robin Williams, right? Absolutely. Robin Williams deleted himself because of similar issues. Okay, let us go to Sherry in California. Sherry in California, now you're a retired Hollywood stunt woman. You said you thought it was fake. Are you sticking by that, or what are your thoughts on this, Sherry?
Yeah, me, Donovan, I'm a new sub. I just found you, and I love your show.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I first saw that last night, I'm like, oh, my God. Because, they need their ratings up and everything. And the last few years, and I thought, oh, that's totally fake. They're not going to just let somebody crash the stage.
Right.
And then, and it looks kind of fake. I kind of know because, if it's a real hit or not. Plus, Chris had his hands in his pocket.
Yes.
Like, kind of waiting for it, kind of.
Okay.
So at first I thought it was fake. And then, checking into everything, I'm like, if it's real, Will has lost his mind. Okay.
Man.
So, and it might be real. But then here's the other thing in my input. Since I've been retired, I got 3 grown kids, and I've lost all my beautiful hair. UCLA didn't even know what I have.
Right.
But it's traumatic. But, I wear a baseball cap or I'll wear a little wig if I'm going somewhere special. And I'm like, if Jade, didn't want to, if he was that sensitive about it, it's like, put on the dang wig, girl. If I was going to the Oscars, I'd be wearing my wig and just avoid any comments or anything. So I think they're both into the drama,
Yeah, I agree. And them both being into the drama, that means that he is in her frame. That means he is in her frame because he is on her program. Let us go to Dwayne in Texas. Dwayne in Texas, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead. And please turn off your YouTube.
Yeah. Oh.
It's all right.
Okay. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. First off, make me your flowers now. I think it's to you, Rollo Tomasi, and Myron Gaines. I have changed my life for the better. So I appreciate that from you three gentlemen.
Of course. Absolutely.
Okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Okay. Will definitely messed up this time on this one.
Okay.
But I'm going to
Hello? I guess he just dropped off. Okay. Call back if you can. Let's go to Straw in Los Angeles. Straw in Los Angeles. You're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, put that on low. Hey, how's it going, Donovan?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I wanted to top up. Thank you for having me on the show. I wish I found you guys like literally the Red Pill community. Literally like 10 years ago, this shit would have been totally different for me.
Of course.
I found you guys like a year ago.
Okay.
Now, on this topic, I believe everybody's pretty much correct on what they're talking about.
Okay.
Everybody pretty much agrees that Will, he fucked up. What I'm mad about is how far back Will has put the black community into the situation of we can't trust these niggas.
Man.
And that's the sad part about the whole thing. You let your emotions push back more than 50% of what you tried to represent from the 90s to now.
Yeah, man.
So why would you do that? Why would you let yourself come over to the emotional damage that is right before you? Like everybody said, everybody's seen it. He was right there laughing. She looked at him with the strong face, like you ain't gonna do nothing. He had to straighten his coat and act like a man. Not be a man. He had to act like a man today. And go ahead and put his hands on somebody?
Yeah.
Now, that's just mad right there. But on the crying part, honestly, because I've seen it with I seen the self-flinch and the self-control of Chris Rock. That was I really thought he was about to fire back. If you really look at it, even live, I was like, oh, he's about to fire back.
Right.
He balled his fist. He even flinched his left arm. He was about to come back with the right. It's in an instant, but you can see it. I've seen it. I've been in fights. I know what it looks like. I know you do too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, him coming back and crying about this, honestly, I really think when they went backstage, Chris hit him with the lawyer tactic and was like, look, you're going to have to pay me half of what you got now. We're going to have a square off in the back afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And everything. I think he lost more that last night than people really realized.
Yeah.
And them tears wasn't about Oscars. Them tears was about dollars. Last night, Chris Rock was already talking like, oh, I'm not pressing charges. No, he's not pressing charges.
No, of course
he's
not.
He's filing a lawsuit.
You think he's filing a lawsuit?
Publicly humiliated. Yeah. I really believe he's filing a lawsuit.
Okay.
And it started last night. That's why Will was crying. Because he know how much he fucked up by the time he had to get back on stage.
All right, well, Straw...
He knew the dollar amount of what he lost.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call, Straw in L.A. Thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, Straw in Los Angeles chiming in. Let us go to... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me take any more calls. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like it's not going to let me... doesn't look like it's going to let me take any more calls. So, all right, let me go ahead and drop all of this off. All right. I apologize. I thought it was going to let me. I thought it was going to let me continue taking phone calls, but so it looks like you guys are talking about Will Smith is going to give back the Oscar. So let's do some research. Let's do some research on this. Let me go to the breakdown. Breakdown. Let's see here. Nope, that's Love is Blind. Okay, there we are. Well, let me just remove the Love is Blind part. There we go. All right. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So a lot of you guys are talking about the fact that you know, some people, I think they said that somebody's going to all right, very good. Okay, let me. I'm going to try to get this. I'm going to try to get this up on the screen. For you guys. I'm trying to get this all. I'm symmetrically challenged right now. Let me bring up the internet here. Okay, let's see. Will Smith to give back Oscar. Let's see what happens here. So there, could be asked to, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows, man? Whether he gives back the Oscar, I don't think it's about the Oscar for Will, man. I mean, does he deserve it? Yeah. I mean, I would imagine he probably does, but what this comes down to, man, is that once again, Will did something ill-advised to impress a woman who absolutely does not. She has no respect for him whatsoever. No respect for him whatsoever. And I think it's gonna cost him. I really do. Oliver Twisticles with the $10 super chat says if it's fake, then it's exploitation. If it's real, we are watching a man descend into self-destruction and possibly deletion. That's what a lot of people are really looking toward. Because dude, if this was real, man, then dude, Will Smith is in big trouble. He's in big, well, mentally anyway. Dude, it's Ostrike. $5 says, when you attend these award ceremonies, you know they clown the audience. Will said, you can clown the rest of the audience, but not me or my wife. You guys were also saying that you wouldn't put it past him. You wouldn't put it past him to file a lawsuit. I don't know. It's hard to see. It's hard to imagine that Chris Rock would file a lawsuit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's gonna do it for this special edition of TSR Live. If anything else comes of this, I suppose I could come back on and do a live stream. Like I said, I was actually going to take the next couple of weeks off because Dev and I we are making some decisions about the CME, and we're actually going to be choosing the venue this week. So stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. You guys take care.